Grand National Championships.
Hello. You're listening to Grand National Championships on the internet. My name is Alistair. Joining me tonight, we have Jotham.
Hello.
Corin.
Hi.
And Jared.
Hello.
I just realized I stopped fading out the music like halfway. I'll clean that up in post. But, yeah, that was pretty loud. I apologize for that. Also, I didn't intend to play the song that I played. Everything was a surprise to me after the start of the show. Everything is in full working order right now on the show. Last week, keen-eared listeners may have noticed my audio was a shambles. I was caught not recording my audio last week, and I specifically brought it up at the end of the show. I was like, oh, by the way, did everyone remember to record? Like it was a stupid joke question, and I didn't. Yeah, that's how it went down. So a little peek behind the curtain. And that, yeah, you should have seen the tantrum I threw in the staff meeting we had later on. Like, how could you let this happen to me? Throwing a chair across the Zoom environment.
A 2-liter of Coke goes across the room.
You drinking a 2-liter in a staff meeting?
Wow.
Yeah, there's 4 of us.
We're sharing? We're sharing the bottle?
On Zoom?
Well, I mean,
Pass it around.
I put it over my arm. And
I thought this
lifted
was
up
a
that
made-up
way.
scenario where we were in the same room, but we haven't been in the same room in years.
Ever.
Yeah.
All 4 of us ever.
No, at the end of 2019, maybe
That's
we were all in
true.
the same room at WMNF.
Oh, we were celebrating
Oh, yeah.
the
The one.
15th anniversary of the radio program.
That is the one time.
Yeah.
Would you say that's where we peaked? No, we probably peaked 7 or 8 years before that.
Sorry, Jotham.
Yeah. Possibly. Sorry, Corin. Corin might not have been a part of it then either.
I was always a part of it.
You were apart from it.
Greeting you when you came home or when you left for the studio at 5 a.m.
Having a freshly baked pie ready for me every morning that I would come home from the radio station. Very
That's
kind
right.
of you.
While also playing Final Fantasy.
Multitasking is what you specialized in back then. If anyone has anything they'd like to talk to us about, the phone number... Wait, no. The email address is us@thegncshow.com. I almost said things out of order, which did not
I thought
sit
you
right
said
with
if
me.
you want to talk to us about the phone number.
If you want to talk to us about the phone number, you
You can give me an email.
find us on social media at The GNC Show on most platforms. Visit thegncshow.com, which recently was down for a moment and then came back up. And you can also call us, leave a voicemail at 727-379-4335. That spells paper wheel on your alphanumeric keypad. For a second, I almost said animal wheel. Yeah,
Is that toy
Too many.
you have when you're a kid and you pull the thing and it makes the sound?
it's the cow says whatever a cow says. I forget. I never had one of those things.
Where does that phone number go, though? Animal wheel.
Animal wheel?
Oh, don't look that up.
Too many digits.
Yeah. Jotham pointed out that animal has one more letter than paper. Wait.
Thank you, Joe.
Still got it.
Yeah, still. Is that something you'll also do on the couch when you're sitting watching a movie with Maddie? You'll be like, that word has more letters than the word next to it.
Can't be a phone
Still-
number, not enough letters.
Still
Or
got it.
Numbers.
Yeah, she's never impressed.
The website was briefly down earlier this week because of that whole thing I was telling you about, how I had to move all this material from the web hosting site over to a place for podcasts. And
it's a good
so
website
I did.
name.
So that's the end of the story. I did. That is now the Justin Kerp Grand National Championships podcast feed, hosted on whichever podcast hosting platform to be named at a later date, that we will celebrate whenever we have to make reference to it. That is the Justin Kerp Grand National Championships podcast feed, hosted on whichever podcast hosting platform to be named at a later date.
Is there an acronym for that?
Yeah, I mean, it spells out, it's TJCGNCPFHOWPHPTBNAALD.
It's much easier.
So if you have a way to pronounce that. Sounds like one of those cities in Iceland. I'm sure you've seen the signs.
Ugh.
Anyway, the signs, the approaching omens. I mean, we have a guest who should be joining us in a little while, sooner than later. And I'm trying to think of which one of us it would be least important for them to hear. Jotham, what have you been up to?
This is good.
No,
Nice.
honestly, when I said that, I realized I was going to have to insult somebody, and I have no good reason to do it. So I'm just kidding, Jotham.
I thought you were going to say no good reason to insult them, but... All right. What have I been up to?
Yeah, think about
Well, I went on a hike this weekend.
it.
There it is.
You have a side bet this week, or no?
It's a running bet.
Running bet.
It's
Okay.
cumulative. We're gonna weigh
Who won?
the proportion of times that you bring it up, and
Oh, you're writing how many times I say hike.
yeah, and then we'll prorate the money.
That's why. Yeah, it was nice. I went to Osprey Trail on Honeymoon Island. Very nice. Saw a bald eagle
Good spot.
and a bunch of osprey. It's really nice up there.
Did you see any
Well-
handling fish?
Handling fish.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see an osprey like with some fish in its claws.
Oh yeah. Having little
not
fish
a fish
snacks.
called a handling fish.
Yeah, I didn't see any handling fish, but I did see osprey eating fish with their claws.
Okay. From now on, I'd love it if you called that an osprey handling fish.
Osprey handling fish. Yeah. So saw that gopher tortoise.
Wait, you went out for tortoise?
Gopher
yes,
tortoise.
Gopher tortoise.
That's what they
Yes.
say sometimes during a launch at Cape Canaveral. Ready, go for tortoise.
And then they launch a tortoise. It's cruel.
Into space.
Shut him down.
Saw a diamondback rattlesnake.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Looked like it just ate a squirrel or something.
Did you-
It was very, very full.
Did you tell Maddie to go be cute by it?
No, but
Do-
I mean,
do
I'm the one
something
that
cute.
stays furthest away from them. Like her and my parents were like, "Ooh, it might be a little too close. We don't want to crowd it." But I want to just skip right past it.
Yeah.
Healthy fear of the rattlesnake.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You should definitely have a healthy fear of the rattlesnake.
But then she
I
get
do
close to
like-
a gator too. Wasn't there a?
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
that was the
saying.
weekend before.
He made her act cute by a gator, and now he's making her act cute by it.
That's what
And I
she
was like,
wanted.
oh, this is dangerous. The snake's dangerous.
Well, I didn't know the gator was there.
It was more of a surprise. Although in the
It
picture,
was a surprise gator.
in the picture you sent us, it seems very obvious in the landscape.
Yes.
It's a
but
large
if
gator.
If I was to send you another picture that I took right before that is horizontal, it's just giant and like open, and we're on this path, and the gator's like to the side.
Mm-hmm.
For the listener at home, you're not going to see this, but our group
Neither
text is
are we,
about to
so-
pop off later.
Oh, speaking of which, slightly related, because I did this change of the podcast hosting platform, past episodes may be unavailable for a little while at least, except for, going from last week, which is the episode for February 27th. So I'm going to try to get all those past episodes, going back to the beginning of the podcast exclusive in July, but it might take a little while. But you can always see episodes in their entirety, including Jotham's wild flailing hand gestures to describe gator positioning. You can see those on YouTube, going all the way back to the first episode, including a compilation in there, a best of episode.
A supercut.
Yeah, it's a supercut. Well, our guest is in the waiting room. Do you guys, how about I go ahead and let our guest in, and we'll just kind of resume from there?
Sounds good.
Does that sound good? We're not even going to bother taking a break. I'm just going to let our guest into the room. And there our guest is. It's Morgan Burgess.
Hi. How's it
Hi,
going?
Morgan.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Is my audio okay, by the way?
Yeah, your audio is great.
Okay, fabulous. I
Good
just
audio.
wanted to make sure. Thank you. Hi.
Hi,
Good
you may
good
know-
to see you all.
You may know Morgan from the Nervous Girls, of which she is one. You may know Morgan from her solo music under the name Mongtron.
That's correct.
That's correct. I accidentally introduced you before I gave all your glowing credits. So now I just have to say it's her. It's
Oh,
Morgan.
it's
Hi,
okay.
Morgan.
Hi. Hey. Yeah, I was doing a little bit of recon and watching some of the most recent GNC episodes just to make sure that I knew what I was getting myself into. And I recall there was some fear over saying Mongtron wrong. Not fear outwardly; it was implicit in the way you had some hesitation about if that was correct. And I was like, that is a weird name, and I never intended. It's just like a random misspelling of my name that my friend gave me a long time ago, and now ever since everyone's like, what the hell does that mean?
So someone was
like,
attempting
dunno.
to write Morgan and wrote Mongtron instead. That's the
So
Autocorrect.
They work at Starbucks.
So I feel like this will be relevant because again, recent topics I recall being discussed were Pokemon, right?
That's always big here.
Post Malone's Pokemon thing. And
Yeah. Jared loves him.
yes, exactly. So it's less to do with Post Malone, more to do with Pokemon. This was like
Much better,
a
thank you.
10, maybe 11-year-old Facebook comment on my Facebook wall that it was my friend like trying to make my name into like a Pokemon sounding name. It was supposed to be Morgtron, I guess, but she typoed Mongtron, and she was like, whatever. Like it's not even a real name. So
Mongtron sounds possibly like kind of like off the mark. Like Mongtron is like maybe came out of the Pokemon factory, like with
So I was
With
like,
what?
are we gonna go
Dot,
here?
dot,
And
dot.
I will go here that I do have strong opinions about the Pokemon franchise. And
All right.
it is
Here for it.
I feel like when they came out with the first original 151 Pokemon, I was like, actually, like, this is cool. Okay, like, I see where you got these names from and these design ideas. And
Mhm.
now new regional Pokemon are just... That's what they're called, by the way. They come out with new regions all the time that they keep
I just wrote
inventing.
down NRP to reference later. New regional Pokemon.
And
good.
they're insane. Like there's literally just like garbage, and its name is Garbodor. It's just a big, huge garbage sack of garbage. Like they're not. I guess my point is they're just not trying anymore, or they're just like, you know what? Fuck it. They're gonna buy anything that we design anyways.
That's probably the more likely of the
Yeah.
two
The
The
options.
crux
So-
of the matter.
But anyways,
Yeah, I work with a guy who like sneaks out to look for Pokemon cards to like flip.
Sneaks out.
They're like,
From
it's
work?
coming for me.
I know what you mean. Okay, I know what you mean because my girlfriend recently
You go to
got
Target or
into-
whatever.
Right, and they're sold out constantly. There's like
Yes.
there's been a lot of manufacturing shortages. I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't mean to take it here, but
No,
there's a lot of
yeah.
manufacturing shortages in the Pokemon
This is a big
world
part of my life
right
recently.
now. And yeah, my girlfriend recently got into the TCG, the trading card game, thanks to our
TCG.
friend Justin. I resent him for it. for getting her as into it, because now it's always like, yeah, there's a new elite trainer box coming out, a new booster box, and
Elite trainer
the
box,
thing is
ETB.
you can get a mega rare full art, and I'm like, I don't know what any of this means, but I'm happy for you.
You
and
are
I'll,
laying it down very eloquently.
Yes.
thank you.
Sounds
thank
like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm a
Suspicious.
quick learner. I just pick up the pieces. I don't really speak the language, but I can make it through the conversation. You know, I know colloquial Pokemon.
Yeah, you could get through. You could like backpack through Pokemon regions.
Definitely, they would be like, she's a seasoned trainer, and really, it's just like I'm Team Rocket. I'm
Hold
just
on.
phoning it in.
The fact that you,
mean
just
you've
called
never trained
yourself
Pokemon?
a seasoned trainer, like
I would be a seasoned trainer.
your keywords are so on point.
I know. I think it helps also because I do play Pokemon Go. I didn't.
Okay, here we go.
But I'll tell you, the TCG is
TCG.
that's nerd shit. Like Pokemon Go,
It's predatory, right?
anyone can play. I don't want to get too deep in it because I know you guys will be like, Jesus, but
Not a big fan.
all
This is the
kinds
right
of-
place to do it.
I'll just say, so Pokemon Go has something called Community Day, which is like, oh, you can get a special Pokemon with a special move, and there's a bunch of this, whatever. When you go out to Pokemon Community Day, it's like a Saturday of every month. A certain Pokemon is featured and, highlighted. And when you go to wherever, it's usually parks, like Ybor, actually, not that I would go there these days, but Ybor has like a thriving Pokemon Go Community Day, community, I guess, whatever. And when you see the people who are hanging out doing Pokemon Go stuff, first of all, they're immediately recognizable because they all are just looking down, walking around, doing this movement. Okay, that's what it looks like to catch a Pokemon on Pokemon Go. So you know who they are, and my point is the demographic, you can't nail it. It's just there's no stereotyping who plays Pokemon Go. It's literally every kind of person
It cuts
you've
its
ever
way
thought of.
through every swath of the population.
Yes.
Jared was big into Pokemon Go for a minute.
That's unsurprising.
Jared.
I might still be into it.
Oh, do you still play?
Hey, if you
No,
want to
I'm-
exchange trainer codes after this,
I mean, what gym were you with? Like,
I am Team Mystic. Yeah.
Mystic.
What are you? Instinct?
yeah, I have instinct.
I
Oh,
feel
man.
like instinct.
She could just tell
Instinct
just from
is-
your look.
Because
Oh, man.
instinct is always like people who are like, I don't want to be like red is team. The red
I
team
don't
is
want to be like,
Valor.
what? I fully embrace
They're
my
the
Pokemon
jocks.
love, by the
Okay,
way.
wait. Team
Okay,
Valor is the red team, and they're the jocks.
Right.
Then
Okay,
Team
that's
Blue.
my team.
Okay. And you're the bullies, all right. And then Team Blue is like the absolute opposite of that. And then Team Instinct is like, I don't like to pick sides. Like I'm I'm beating, I'm whatever the fuck the phrase is. I'm marching to the beat of my own drum. I'm beating my own
Sure.
drum in private.
I'm beating my Pokemon in
You know what
private.
I mean? So anyways, I don't know. Neither here nor there, guys.
Knowing what
I'm
you
sorry.
know knowing me as much as you do,
Yeah.
I believe we've met in person one time.
One time.
One time.
Absolutely.
Plenty.
What team do you think I would feel most at home with, Pokemon Go wise?
I'm gonna say Instinct or Mystic. I'm on Team Mystic.
Jared's on Instinct.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Well, at least I'll have a
But-
friend no matter where I go.
Yeah, absolutely.
so nice.
Yeah, of course.
It's funny that you didn't say that about the other team where I would be.
Well, unfortunately, there's just those two teams where I know somebody, so try it out.
That's the only teams with my friends, I guess.
I mean, even the thing that I think is funny too is like when it comes down to it, the teams are so irrelevant. It really doesn't matter. Like it doesn't really come up. I think it was like a failed attempt to like make, I don't know, people more engaged with that aspect, but no one cares about it at all. From the
'cause-
people I've met.
Go on,
Go
Jared.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, they everybody helped each other like on those like raids and stuff.
Exactly.
So it's not like
it doesn't matter.
it's not really a competition.
Yeah, we're all working together to catch this huge, fat ass legendary Pokemon.
It's going to
That
take
is
a
a
lot of
ghost
hands
and
to
a dragon
catch
at the same
and
time.
murder this Pokemon. Is that what you're doing? You're
Exactly.
quelling the Pokemon menace?
Yeah,
I don't understand exactly.
I know. That's why I'm like, all right, we can cut this short.
No, well, the thing,
there's a lot to unpack there.
The reason it's become so much of a factor in my life recently is that my daughter, who's 9 years old, is just she had a bunch of Pokemon cards. And she would like look at them and like she watched the movie and like she understood some of like the key points of it, the real famous characters. But now she's gotten into like wanting to like collect the cards and like, you know, she's watching YouTube channels where they're talking about the cards and, you know, she's asking like, can we go over, see what they got at Walmart, see what they got at Target? Like they got nothing, I'm telling you.
Yeah, this is my life. Peripherally. By default, I also have to be aware of this, not because I have a daughter, but because my adult girlfriend,
grown person,
is, you know, she's looking at. She's like, I'm gonna stop. I just got off work, but I'm gonna stop at Target really quick just to see if they restocked. And I'm like, that's fine, go for it. But anyways,
to you that's silly. You're like, if you're in Target, why don't you check on your Pokemon Go app and see if there are any Pokemon that you can murder right in the store?
I'll tell you, I think that's like there is some sort of you know, Pokemon related like Enneagram or something. There's some sort of personality diagnosis, I'm sure, that can be that can summarize why you choose Pokemon Go or the trading card game or do both. See, to me, I think the trading card game is actually makes more sense, like financially. Like the cards do work. They're worth a lot of money, and there are people who just buy buy a box, an Elite Trainer box, and don't open it, and then they sell it like 6 months or a year later, and it's worth double or you know, whatever. Whereas Pokemon Go is just, this is fake. Nothing that's happening in here is real, and you're only maybe spending money if you are addicted and you're like, I'm out of raid passes, I need to buy more for, you know,
Just
whatever.
give us like $5 every now and then. It's okay.
Right. It's like it's not that much money.
Yeah,
It's not that much
guys
money.
are
But
you
then
guys
it's
are
like,
doing
I
a
have
really
nothing.
good job reinforcing each other's
Addiction. You can call
addictive
it that.
behaviors. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyways, we can move on. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make this such a Pokemon heavy episode.
You are not the one who made it that way by any stretch. It was that
let me
way.
talk,
You walked
so-
into a Pokemon loaded situation.
From
But,
Pokemon.
We were
Yeah.
we were going around the horn, you know, just kind of talking about what we've each been up to in this past week. So we're going to continue to do so. And we'll you know, feel free to chime in with any of our stories here.
Sure.
We were talking to Jotham about his hike. Jotham, did you see any other deadly creatures and request that your girlfriend stand near them for cute pictures?
Not necessarily. Saw some dolphins. That was the last thing I would say.
You saw
They're
a lot
deadly.
of weird assortment of animals in this park. You saw a rattlesnake
it's a beach
and
park.
a dolphin.
It's honeymoon island. So
Okay.
it's like, you know, you kind of hike through like some pines and then you hike in the sand. So bald eagle, eastern diamondback, rattlesnake, dolphin, many osprey. Stop counting because we lost track.
What's the point even?
Lousy.
You've seen one osprey, you've seen them all.
Handling
with osprey.
fish. Saw a lot of handling fish.
Jotham's
That's
making
it.
a reference. I asked if he saw any osprey that were like handling fish, because I feel like when sometimes you hang out with osprey, you'll see them like actually
Yeah.
carrying fish around.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of that.
Again, this is some of that stuff that Jotham does that makes me sound like a crazy person. Jared, to what have you been up this past week or so?
Nothing. My building got tented, and I had to flee the city to not be poisoned by gas.
Wow.
Was it a surprise tenting?
No, it wasn't. I knew about it, and I just had to. It was on a Monday and a Tuesday. It
You
was
got an
yesterday.
email that said, "You are now under a tent."
Get out
Flee
or
now.
get poisoned.
Yeah, so I went and stayed with my folks for a couple of days in Port Charlotte, and just kicked it there. Took a couple days off work. Came back last night though. They said it should be safe to enter after 8, and there was a thing on the door that said it was safe to enter after 3. But I walked in here and my eyes like
burned.
Oh yeah, like big, like almost in a debilitating like type of way, and I had to open up the
Let me guess.
and air it out.
You had to open up the windows while you sat down and played video games.
No, I didn't stay here. I had to open up the windows and get out.
Oh, okay. I was just curious.
But yeah,
So that's been the most.
almost being poisoned. Yeah, that's been the most notable thing that's pretty much happened.
Did you end up?
What'd you do with your?
You go ahead.
Oh, I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
What did you do with your parents? Did you guys have good, wholesome fun?
We just, I mean, my
Good
dad was
food?
working. My mom was chilling out. Yeah, got some food. It
Right
was real
on.
low key.
We got a big kickball game coming up this weekend.
That's right. Oh, and paintball's
That's
canceled
true.
Saturday due to weather.
Nice.
Doo-doo weather has caused paintball
Doo-doo weather.
to be
Due
canceled.
to doo-doo weather.
Jared has been organizing a monthly paintball gathering,
like semi-monthly.
semi-monthly. You ever play paintball, Morgan?
I was just about to say I have never. I have an older brother who went paintballing all the time, but it was, I'm 5 years younger than him, so I think that they were always like, "We're not letting you do that." Like, no way. I didn't push for it, but that was the only opportunity that I even remotely came close to as far as playing paintball. But
Well-
I recently was thinking about it because I recently, I don't know why, I get these show hyperfixations where I'm like, I need to watch all of this. Like, I just have to watch all of it because that's what's on my mind. And it was Ink Master. And there was a challenge where they were paintballing an image onto a big canvas.
Oh.
And I was like, you know what? That made me think. I've never done that. This
That's
isn't
what paintball
fair.
is.
So you're going to you'll go to a paintball arena with 16, 20 of your friends, and they'll all start fighting and shooting each other, and you'll just go to a wall and start making
And
art.
paint it. Exactly. First, I have to sketch out my vision and then paintball it. But,
If you're
But
sketching,
yeah,
if you're
that's like-
sketching while you're playing, that could end up being an expensive game.
yes, absolutely. Yeah. So, but all that's to say, never paintballed before. It looks like a blast. I'd
Well,
love to
we are
indulge
rescheduling,
one
so
day. Oh, okay.
hopefully over the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
We'll get you on that invite list, Morgan. By the way,
Please-
I don't
please
do
do,
it.
if you don't
I'm
mind.
scared.
I'm kind of a lot scared. I've noticed an uptick in people doing skateboarding and roller skating and stuff. And I'm like, I'm still scared to do that, you guys. There's nothing about the pandemic that made me go, I want to get hurt more, but paintballing for some reason seems a little more tolerable. I don't know why. I guess because you can more or less predict what kind of injury you might get. Whereas
You're
other
unlikely to
sports, it's
a
just, who knows what's gonna happen.
paintball will rarely break your leg, but
right.
a
You'll get a welt
skateboard-
and you'll have to live with it for I don't know how long. I've never had a welt, guys.
Talk to Jared. He's an
Okay.
expert on welts now.
Okay, tell me how
Yeah,
long.
yeah.
What's the half-life of a welt?
It's a couple days because it's a welt and a bruise, and it starts to yellow after 2 days. I think 3 or 4 days, the worst ones go away.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can add that
That's
into the
nothing.
calculations that you're making about, the cost benefit analysis
Yeah,
of enjoying
exactly.
paintball.
I keep trying to get Alistair to come out and be like a war correspondent, with
Yeah.
your camera and
Yeah.
some protective gear and get some on the ground shots.
I think it
Yeah,
could be a lot of
why
fun.
don't you? What's stopping you?
Because he's going to get
just
shot.
getting shot a bunch. I know the pain won't be unbearable or anything, but I hate being startled in front of people, and I feel
Yeah.
like it's just being startled all day long, just go, and just people seeing me jump.
You'll make a lot of dumb
I can
noises.
relate.
Ugh.
Yeah.
The last thing I want is for people to hear my involuntary sounds. Yeah, exactly. when those noises escape me, it's hard to keep up this this sober and serious persona that I have.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry, I was still replaying the ghastly noise that was made just a moment ago. Like you were haunted. Not you didn't do it. I think Jared did it. Perhaps, yeah. Sounded like a very, a very haunted sound. Sorry, it's too good.
Corin.
Okay. Anyways,
What have you been doing, Corin?
Nothing, man. I've been working a lot. My life has been extremely boring.
Yeah.
But in lieu of actually having something to talk about, I ran an experiment.
Yeah.
I posted a story on the Instagram, and I asked for people to ask me questions so that I could answer them on the air.
wow.
So here's a.
So these are questions
how'd
presented
it
to
go?
you.
It went okay. I got like 7.
One of them's just, who are you?
Who do you think you
I
are?
get that. Who do you
First
think
of
you
all,
are?
how
Is very
dare
different.
you?
The audacity.
First, how much you benching? Okay, here we go. I haven't maxed out in a while, but I've got 225 in the gym, and that's what I'm working with right now.
Morgan, I am not. The other 3 participants, the other 3 co-hosts of the show are real like muscle dudes. They
We're real meatheads
they're
here.
real meathead
you know.
gym rats.
I can talk protein. I can talk macros.
You can talk
It's
team.
good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just want
I
to
know
let you
teen.
know I cannot take part in this conversation, but feel free.
Teen.
All right, sorry, Corin. So
Talk teen.
I almost
Don't
sent you
say
guys
that.
a plate of meat that I ate for lunch, and I was gonna say meat plate without the E, like the nucktats that we do.
oh yeah, Morgan, we've
yeah,
been talking
good.
a lot. We talk a lot in our text thread about nucktats.
Okay.
So 4 and 4. I guess there's a Facebook group, is it, or a Twitter
Yeah.
account that Jotham's keenly interested in, where they're constantly bringing up new nucktats that people could use.
Mongtron.
4 and 4. Mongtron.
Yeah, exactly.
Mongtron.
Mongtron.
Whatever.
You accidentally
Perfect.
said it
It's a
correctly.
fake name. It's okay.
Well, that's
Yeah.
fine. It's 2.
I'll keep my ear to the ground for nucktat content.
Thank you. We need it. Okay, why is Cheerwine so good?
Is
It's
it?
a
It's
soda.
sweet.
It's
It's okay.
got sugar in it.
It's like cherry
It's bubbly.
Coke,
Okay.
Dr. Pepper kind of.
What is the flavor of cheer wine?
Comes in
It's
a
its
nice
own
glass
thing.
bottle, though.
Does
Is
it
that-
always, or
I like
is
the
it
glass
sometimes in
bottle.
a can?
Oh,
It
well,
comes
fuck
in-
that can shit. I mean,
And
you
2
want it in the
liters.
bottle, and the 2 liters. No,
I had a Krispy Kreme flavored cheer wine once, like a special edition.
Did you say Krispy
does that
Kreme?
mean?
Cream
Yeah, yeah.
flavored soda. That's
well,
so American.
Krispy Kreme
No.
flavor added to cheer wine, so it was like both.
I misunderstood. I thought you
promotional
meant
thing.
you had a Krispy Kreme donut that was Cheerwine flavored.
No.
You're
You're
saying it was
soda flavored. Donut
Was this an
flavored
official
soda.
release?
Yes.
Official release. Wow.
That's way worse than what Alistair said for some reason. What Alistair said was reasonable.
Right.
I will eat a donut
Yeah.
that tastes like a soda.
You talk
I
to
will
me
not eat a soda that tastes like a
like
donut.
I was an idiot.
You
And
were
my
a
thing was
fool.
better.
Yeah, it's like that weird feeling. Like your teeth kind of feel gritty. There's so much sugar like, in your mouth. You know that like weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to go sleep afterward.
You wake up and you have one less tooth.
Yikes.
Who done it?
My nightmares come to life. Favorite GNC host?
That was a good little throwaway transition line where you're like, horrid nightmare come to life. Who's your favorite? So the favorite GNC host.
Got to keep it going.
Who's your favorite?
My favorite GNC host is, of course, is Morgan.
Oh, thank you.
You're
I'll
welcome.
be
Our
back
guest
every
favorite-
week now.
Our guests are more
Least
than just
favorite
guests. They
GNC
are
host.
co-hosts.
That's right. My least favorite is, of course, me.
Morgan. Cold-blooded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Brutal. I
polarizing
won't have
that
to see you
way.
again. Who do you think is better at kickball, me or Jared?
No, Jared.
Now, does it tell you who sends these?
Yes.
Are these all from Jotham? Every one of them?
All of them.
It just all this just goes to prove how few people care about this show.
I when you said that you asked people for questions, in my brain I was like, fuck, I didn't see that. Like I literally thought, like, I haven't been on Instagram lately looking at stories. I totally missed it.
Nobody. Yeah, it doesn't matter. None of this
But
matters.
you really did post it. It's just that Jotham gave all the answers.
I got okay. Well, my little brother posted one too. He asked one too.
Okay.
How you dumb? Lol lol lol. JK.
How are you?
How you? Yeah, how you dumb?
I'm not good with spatial reasoning.
Yeah, that's one way that I'm dumb.
I spend all my money on Pokemon cards. That's how I dumb.
Dude, I spent all my money on seltzer. I've been trying to cut back this week.
I noticed the
that?
Topo Chico, which I'm a fan of Topo Chico, but I
Co-sponsor
think
Topo Chico.
only the lime one. I don't
No.
like the rest of
What?
them.
No, I
Joe-
say
Wow.
no to the lime, no to the
No to the
grapefruit.
flavors?
Topo Classic. Yeah.
No flavors.
Wow.
No flavors.
I don't know
Yeah.
if I've ever had the classic, but we definitely had a Topo phase in this household, and I believe that it was just kind of like an unjustifiable cost. And
Well, that's
had to
where I'm
stop.
at, but every day I drink a lot of seltzer. So I've cut back from like 8 to 4. I'm on my 4th one right now.
Whoa.
Yeah,
But-
I drink
Hey,
a
that's
lot of
progress, I guess.
seltzer. I mean, so now I'm just supplementing with boring ass regular water.
Everyone was so stunned by the amount of seltzer you're drinking. We were just quiet and concerned.
Like
Looking
for
for
a
I like to stay,
sign.
I like to stay
Something-
hydrated.
That water.
There's
just
yeah, just drink water.
regular
Man.
water works for
Boring.
that. I need a little
Got to
sizzle
save
out
up
of
the
life.
seltzer for the good times as a reward.
Well, they're all good times for me. You know how happy
good.
I am.
I've told you guys about like my favorite tweet of all time that said like I knew I was in my 30s when I started seeing an orange soda in the fridge and thinking, oh, that'll be a nice treat for later. Yeah, that's when you know you're moving on. 30s
That's
are
what I
in the
say
rear
about
view
cheer
now.
wine.
Cheer wine. Corin, anything else going on? Any other good questions?
No other good questions. No. All Jotham and my little brother just razzing me and
Us.
themselves.
And you didn't answer the kickball question though.
Ooh.
Oh, that's true.
Well, that's to
Evasion.
be decided by you two this
Wait,
weekend.
we're on the same team. We gotta compare
You can-
stats. We gotta
I
keep
mean,
track of our
you'll
we'll
stats.
have to ask people.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask people there.
It'll be clear.
It's
One of you will be better.
yeah. Well, maybe we need to be on different teams.
Oh, because you'd be too powerful if you were combined.
Yeah, with our forces combined. No,
Like
it should be a good
drafting
time
like
though. We got
horses.
like 20 guys going. Corin, you should know some of these people too.
Oh, they're part of the cult?
The other cult, yeah.
Cool.
Secret society. I right quick want to mention a couple of comments on the YouTube channel. We like to recount those. We had a comment from Mara Kaiser saying, pretty sure Jared's polo story was ripped straight out of that scene in Pretty Woman. I've missed the quizzes. Thanks for the laughs. Jared went to a polo match
sweet.
last week. Got pretty pretty rowdy.
I heard.
I heard.
I
Yeah,
watched.
so-
I did. Like I said, I did some
some
research,
research.
some
I like it.
homework. Wanted to make
We
sure
saw
I
the
knew who
uptick
these,
100% in our
who these guys
viewership.
were. Yeah.
From 2 to
Well,
3.
it's all in the last 48 hours, you know? No. Yeah, that
Analytics
story.
are
I liked
blowing
it.
up.
I liked it.
And a message from a perennial YouTube friend, Teddy Watkins. I work a staggering 1.5 miles from the hospital I was born in. Not the same street, but only a block over. And that's very similar to my situation that I outlined. You know,
Are you guys roommates?
yeah, we were in the hospital at least.
Oh.
But then he moved east and I moved west. And now we're 1 mile apart.
And they're enemies.
Yeah. Oh, also blood feud. Forgot to. Thank you, Morgan. He also says, and I care, guys. It ain't the 6 minutes. It's what happens in that 6 minutes. What was 6 minutes about? Do you recall that?
No.
It ain't the 6 minutes. It's what happens.
Morgan, do you recall?
Yeah, did you see anything recently?
As our biggest fan.
You would be surprised at the notes that I did take because I was like, I want to talk about this.
Ooh, I'd love
but
to hear
I
these.
did not take a note of anything regarding 6 minutes. So I failed.
I think I realized when he says I care, it was because you mentioned something about no one made any mention of the playlist not changing. And I said, it's because nobody cares.
Right.
So
yeah, that's right.
Teddy Watkins is saying, I care. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Teddy.
What a guy.
All right. So now
He's very kind for a greatest enemy.
yeah, for having a blood feud.
He's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I have a blood feud with my blood brother. So Morgan, we're now at you. We're going to find out to what you've been up in these recent days. I do want to mention, you are of the Nervous Girls, and I want to say sorry to Ann Mansfield of the Nervous Girls, who I had talked to early in the days of the podcast when we weren't sure exactly what the format was going to be, and I talked to her about maybe doing like a little gear tour studio pedal board investigation thing, and it never came to fruition. And so at some point she's going to be on the show too, but now you've made it here ahead of Ann Mansfield and ahead of Lauren Shuckle, a past Nervous Girl who has also been in talks to be on this very program. But I'm so glad that you're here. And
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
First among Nervous Girls.
You beat them.
It was lottery based. My name was picked out of a hat. It had nothing to do with my merits at all. So
random draw. No pay for play.
Was chosen by the fates.
So what have you been up to of late?
Thank you for asking. One thing that I did want to mention to this group of people, and I actually feel that I won't have much to contribute myself after I say it, but I watched all of the Planet of the Apes movies in one day. The old ones, not the James Franco. I guess James Franco. I am so unaware of anything present
I think he's,
in the world, but you think he's dead?
I think he's gone.
I
Yeah,
think he's
dead
passed.
now. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he was in the first.
Oh, gotcha.
What happened is his arm got pinned by a boulder and he died in a cavern.
That's why you don't go into caverns.
I mean,
Alice.
a canyon.
Canyon cavern, you know.
Yeah.
Sounds very similar to a non-native English speaker.
So how were there like 5 of those? Because there's Planet of the Apes.
I want to say there's 5. Yeah.
Return to the Planet of the Apes. Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
War for the Planet.
War for the Planet of the Apes.
Wait, am I right?
One more Planet of the Apes.
See, and here's where I'm about to show that I really did not recall what each one was named. All I can tell you that I picked up on,
What did you
and
take
what
in?
what I walked away with, what I was enriched by, was just the third one. I liked the third one a lot, and then the rest of them I was like, I don't know. Like the first one was the oldest, and
It's got a lot of Charlton Heston.
yeah, exactly. And it was whatever. It was, I don't even want to get into it because again, I don't have a lot of thoughts about it. It was just it was just one of those things like, it was old. I hate to sound,
Young and hip.
unrefined. Yeah, exactly. It's like, sorry, I have a hard time watching really old movies, except for some. There are some that I'm like, now that's good. But anyways, first Planet of the Apes was not thrilled about. I think it just was too old to really capture my fancy. Second movie was weird. It was just too weird for me. And then the third movie, I think, was awesome. And I was surprised that it didn't have better ratings on the old tomato meter.
Did it have a story that even as a modern young person that you felt like you could relate to?
I feel like they just were more playful about it. Like, I don't know if any of you have seen it, but
Is it the one that where it's like takes
know if
place
I
in
have.
like contemporary time or like modern times or contemporary
contemporary
times?
for that time, yes.
Right.
And it was like the apes were like America's Sweethearts for a second, and it was so funny because it was so that premise was so unrealistic that like these apes came from another planet and now we just love to watch them dress up as what we would wear on our planet, and we treat them like nothing is wrong. It's we accept them wholeheartedly. I'm like, that's not how this would go. But it was just so funny to me, like just the little montages they would do of like Zira, the female doctor ape.
Oh, like the Zaius for that movie? Was she of the lineage of Dr. Zaius? I know that's a character.
No, I have no idea. I have such poor like retention. That's why, like I said, I watched GNC quite a lot the last couple days and took notes because I was like, I won't remember what I want to say when it comes down to it. Like
we do this show every week and this guy comments and we don't know what it's about.
No idea. I do research.
Fair enough. It's just like
we have no idea what's happening.
I don't have any more internal memory left, so I have to it's got to be external. I have to write it down or it's lost. So anyways, watch Planet of the Apes. It had its moments. It was interesting, but that biggest takeaway was the third one. I feel like they just had a more humorous take on the whole thing. It just seemed like more tongue in cheek. Like it wasn't taking itself very seriously. I feel like there was something about that.
I was just gonna say, it seems like by the end, like I've heard some people talk about like the ape costumes kind of like being a little bit kind of loosey goosey. How you like almost like see their eyes through their mouth pieces.
Yeah, one of them. When they were dying, I think it was like you could see the human mouth inside of the ape mouth, and it was just so.
See, it was weird. If I were making that movie, that's the first thing I would check for. Like, can you see any human mouths inside there?
Any mouths within mouths?
That shot's no good. Then I'd make it a checklist of one item.
Yeah, it was interesting. Never watched it before.
Did you watch them all in one day, you said?
Yes, like a crazy
Why?
person.
It's like 10
I don't
hours.
know because I think it was just because I
was mad at myself.
I don't know. My girlfriend and I sometimes like things will come up in conversation and she'll be like, we should watch those. Or we should watch that. We should blah, blah, blah. And then we'll start it. And then it's just like, just play the next one. Like, just keep it going. I'm doing the laundry at the same time. Like, I'm getting a lot done. Just keep it on. Because I'm not going to stop getting through the progress of watching this whole series, you know.
In one day.
I'm like, keep it going, but I'm doing other things, which is why my recall of it is not great.
Well, that seems like a good type of like background movie, like especially to have it on all day. Corin is a big fan of background movies. What do you call them? Stupid movies, or what you like to watch while you're like running on the treadmill?
I like to watch a stupid movie, yeah,
or working out generally.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be a bad movie. The
distinction,
the descriptor, the distinction, stupid doesn't mean bad. It just means it doesn't take a lot of thought.
Is that one U or two or double O on the stupid?
It's a U with an umlaut.
Okay.
Stupid.
Metal.
Slightly stupid.
Yeah, a movie with a lot of heavy metal in it is usually good. For that. It's usually stupid.
Yeah.
And I lift weights while I do it. Anyway.
You have to get less stupid. Your body gets less stupid that way. Your brain, I don't know, but the body is less stupid when it's strong. No.
Brain, I don't know.
These are rules I've researched. But I do want to share with you.
I'm going to say that next time I go to the gym. I'm going to make my body smarter.
Are getting smart. Yeah, exactly. There was a term that I was very stricken by in I think it was the last episode, the episode before this one of GNC, and I'll share it with you now. Deep sea gigantism. Do you remember saying that?
Jared, I think said that, or was describing.
No, it was Jotham.
I was doing a story about the isopod that looked like a certain Sith Lord.
That's right, exactly. And it was like it was provided as like an explanation within the article. It's like, this is due to deep sea gigantism, like as if that's like everyone knows what that is. I was like,
I
loved
knew
it.
Jared would know what that was.
Here's the thing about Jared. Jared has these weird beliefs, among which
I'm listening.
is that he believes that the ocean is home.
Now,
What'd you say?
I said, now wait. It's not based on the oceans
He
necessarily.
thinks that
by
because
itself.
fish grow to the size of their container, like a goldfish, how it can get bigger if you put it in a bigger container,
Okay.
that it follows that there's a fish out there that's basically the size
of Florida.
like the size of France, that's in the ocean, that's just never been seen because the ocean is so vast. We try to encourage Jared to be a thoughtful person and to have an imagination, but I don't know if any of us agree exactly with his giant fish hypothesis. Jared, would you like to clarify your position? Because I'm not doing a good job.
First of all, it's called the world fish.
The world fish.
He calls
All
it the
right.
world fish.
Let me type that.
The world
Yeah.
fish is the end point of deep sea gigantism.
the logical
The
endpoint.
logical conclusion.
So yeah, I mean, like you see videos of like giant groupers swallowing sharks whole. So I just think that there's probably
Yeah, you see those videos.
a grouper. Yeah, everybody's
I've never seen that video.
You know, I don't think you should feel any shame about this
it's
this
just
belief
terrifying.
because I'll believe anything.
It's just
okay?
terrifying because of like it's just the way that they eat things, which is just the one gulp and it's gone. Like that is kind of terrifying to me. It's just like this giant, instantaneous.
Blinking you out of existence.
Right.
The grouper.
Sounds kind of fun.
Actually swallowed by a giant fish.
So Jared believes
That can
that
probably swallow like an oil tanker or something. That's kind of like what I'm imagining. Like
Or
the scale.
a playhouse, like a playground. There could be something fun in there. If you got swallowed, maybe there is just something fun that it swallowed that you.
so like if it may
now
have
have
followed
exclusive
it may have
access
swallowed
to.
a cruise ship and you can use
Yeah.
the water slide on board.
Yeah.
This is your life now.
It sounds like a key to a better life. You know, no, there's no economy there. It's just
Besides the slow
reign.
digestion,
I bet
it's
there's
fine.
some kind of economy where like people are trading like fish stomach stones with each other.
Yeah.
Okay. Morgan, out of
I'm
all the people
developing my own
out of
theories.
all the people who just talked in the last 5 minutes, I made the most sense and you dismissed me.
I'm not dismissing anyone. I will entertain any insane thought, at least just to see it through. At least just to be like, and now I've conceived of it. It doesn't mean I'll believe it or walk away with it and take, you know what I mean? But I want to at least, I don't like to close out information because then I can't even conceive of it.
With both Jared and Alistair, you have in some way agreed with them while insulting them, and it's
Sorry.
amazing. And I love it.
So sorry, guys.
I'll believe any dumb thing, Jared. Tell me
Any
a dumb
insane
thing.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm sure I believe so many dumb things. Plenty of dumb things. I've seen
Like all the
lots of
stupid
people-
shit you talk about.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I
all
mean,
of-
it can't be disproven. So.
yeah.
Wow, what a strong position.
And all I'm saying is, don't ask me to go out to the middle of the ocean because that ain't happening.
Okay, that's your paintball.
Yeah.
That's right.
This
Deep
far
sea
and no further.
expeditions, count me out.
You
Okay.
are our B.A. Baracus.
Yeah. The military is always helicoptering into Jared's house. We've got one last mission for you. I can't do that. I never went to school and I don't have any experience with it. It goes a little bit different than most action movies. Morgan,
Please, go on.
well, I invited you here in large part because you just recently put out an album of some of your solo material named
did.
29, which someone pointed out is the name of an Adele album too, isn't it?
I think it's actually
Oh no, she had one
name.
at 24.
I had the same fear. I was like, oh, God. Like, but I just assumed like no one's gonna pay attention to this. And when I say they're not gonna pay attention to it, I don't mean they're not gonna pay. They won't pay attention to the parallel to Adele's age album names. I just was like, no one's going to pay attention to this album I'm releasing enough to care. Like, I just really was just like, I just want this to be on Spotify so I can see it on Spotify. And how do I do that? So I just looked up distributing. Basically, I don't know if you want me to go into this. I just was like,
tell us every
mention
step of the distribution process, please. As much legalese as you can mix into it.
I think that's the thing that most of my fellow musician friends have asked me. And I have to like clarify that I know a lot of people who play music, but I don't know a lot of people who produce the music or mix music or distribute or publish music on their own. And that's something that I'm not saying I'm good at. I just am like, it's something I'm curious about, that in a way that most of my fellow musician friends are not. Like, they just are like, I don't know, I wrote this, I have this, I blah, blah, blah. Like, and I have, since I was like 15 or 16, like I've always just been like making songs on a computer, and I never went to school for music production or anything like that. I do not have a formal education beyond, a couple English classes at HCC. But I don't know. I love toying around in, it started with GarageBand, which is what I still use just because it's what I'm familiar with. But the music that's on that album was precipitated by me just going, I want to get really familiar, or as familiar as possible, as I can, as familiar as I can get with GarageBand and whatever I'm doing in here, these tools, it's just stuff that, I don't know, I just wanted to unpack and try to figure out what's what. And there's so much stuff in there. And I think that I discredit GarageBand off the top of my head. I don't know why. I'm just like, it's free. Everyone has it. Anyone can do anything in there. It's not a big deal, but that said, I don't think a lot of people take the time to explore in it as much as you can. And so anyways, I literally got into a frame of mind of like, I just want to make a song a day or a song every couple of days. I made like probably 30 or 40 songs in the last year of just like mostly electronic stuff, instrumental stuff. And it's not to say that all of it was good. It was not, but it was just me kind of just exploring and like seeing what I could create in there. And so of that amount of songs, and the reason I got into this is because I was like, I would love to just, I don't know, write dumb songs for like commercials or like sync licensing stuff. Like, I don't know.
Like Moby.
I guess.
In the 90s.
I guess. Yeah.
You're like a modern day Moby. You're like a Morgan.
Did Moby, I feel like he did not write music expressly for the purpose of it being in a commercial. He was like, this is coming from my soul.
Right.
Not to say the music that's on there did not come from my soul. It's just a matter of like, I'm still in the process, I think, of like putting myself out there as like a solo musician. So I feel for now that the electronic thing is kind of like a veil of like, it's like testing the waters. Like, what's this like, I've been playing music and making music for years, but I'm a little cagey about it. Yeah. I edit, I like self-edit a lot. Like, I will start doing something and like immediately stop myself from doing it because I'm like, would I listen to this if somebody else did it? No, I wouldn't. So I'll like stop doing it, or I don't do anything with it anyways. So electronic stuff, not to sound lazy or anything, but it's a little easier to like make something that sounds good. You can hear it sounding great and kind of build from there. Whereas like writing a song on a guitar, I think even though music in general and people's perception of it is so subjective, obviously everyone has their own tastes, but I just feel like for me, writing a song, say, on an acoustic guitar is so much more, I think there's so much more room for people to be like, I don't know, to be critical, I guess. Or again, it just is a more subjective thing. Whereas like, I think electronic music, it's hard to be like, unless you're doing something really extreme with it, it's hard for it to sound bad, you know, like in my opinion. So it's just, I don't know. I got good at just like churning out electronic songs that I was like, this sounds fun. This is cool. Like and so I just did a lot
Was
of that.
that you doing like a little DJ headphone?
Oh my God. Holy shit, you
This
guys.
drop is slamming.
This is fantastic. Yeah, no, I don't know. I just
Thanks, Graham.
Can I have another piece of gum?
Graham from the other room.
Thanks, Graham.
Honey, your mix is dope. I don't know.
Sweetie, this
I don't even
mix
know how
is
Graham
fire.
talks.
But
See, that's better. Fire.
slaps. Yeah. So, anyways, all that's to say, I really distributed it for the purpose of like, I don't know, like just making instrumental music for people to use, like music for people to use in not in a performance application, but more just like, I don't know, like whatever, like people streaming gaming online and being like, I just use this as my background song or whatever. Some of it I think has a little more soul than that, but I definitely, I'm learning in this process of like playing more music, writing more music, whatever, that I guess I'm getting more comfortable with like my actual songwriting style. And it's not a style that starts with the music, actually. Like if I tend to have I don't know, sorry to go off on this tangent, but like I'll start building a song in GarageBand and come up with something that I love. And I like make it this entire full thing that I think sounds great. And then I'm like, and now I'm totally lost as to what the lyrics or vocals could ever be. And so I really wanted for a long time what is called a top liner, which is somebody who just provides the vocal track for your song. Like you basically produce the music. You're the producer, you create the bottom line, and then a top liner adds your hook, your vocals, your lyrics, whatever.
A big
I
group
want
of
that
people going,
so badly.
Hey.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. All right. But I just can't seem to find a person who just wants to do that, and definitely not the style of music that I've been creating, which is very poppy and electronic, you know?
Okay,
You should
I
go
get it. You're here to ask us, and
Yeah.
yes,
So
we'll do it.
Yes.
will you guys
Be the
please
four top liners, yes.
do Christina
The four
Aguilera
top
style
liners.
vocals?
Let's get
No,
dirty.
yeah.
Something.
Let's get
Was
dirty.
you just here?
Friday night.
Let's get dirty. Oh, so dirty.
You guys have never heard my Christina Aguilera impression?
That was it, baby. Let's get dirty. But yeah, but apart from that, I write a lot of other types of music that I intend to put out there, but it's just not there yet, you know? There's more, putting a little more love into those, but not to say I don't love what I put out, but it was just, I didn't write those songs necessarily with a cohesive thread in mind. It just was like, here are these songs these are the ones I like the most of this batch that I did, and I ran them through some automated mastering software because it was free, baby. And
Nice.
That's pretty much it. I just wanted to figure out how can I do something, how can I put something out that I just did by myself and I can do every part of it by myself. You know?
I really like
Yeah.
the way that you embrace like exploring the possibilities of GarageBand, because like, you know, it's like when you had a 4-track, when I had a 4-track when I was in like high school, and that was the only thing, you know, that you could record on. It was, you know, kind of pre-digital recording being
Yeah.
figured out on the consumer level. So like, you know, if you had a 4-track, you could just figure out every possible thing you could do with it and run things backwards and change times and turn the tape over. And I guess that's doing things backwards, like I said. But anyway, just exploring the limits of the tools before you start thinking like, oh, I need something bigger and fancier and brighter and shinier than that.
Yeah. And I mean, because first of all, my personal tastes when it comes to music are so diverse that I have a hard time. Like, I don't think I could ever integrate all the genres that I love and am influenced by like one style. And so I don't know, when it comes to electronic stuff, even if you just stick with electronic stuff, I guess before I started this process, I didn't realize like how diverse just strictly electronic music can be. And it's insane how it's hard to even carve within the genre, the very vast genre of electronic music. It's really hard to carve like your own style within that. Again, unless you've limited yourself, you know, purposefully or otherwise to like a certain range of sounds or a certain tone or vibe or whatever. I'm all about the vibe. Like that's what I've learned. I just like, I know it's a dumb way to put it, but I just like the vibe. I like moods. I like the tones. Like,
well, there's definitely a lot of like a lot of synth tones. There's a lot of warm, sizzly kind of sounds that when you say vibes, like it definitely like each track kind of has its own little mood that it evokes.
Yeah.
A lot of it based on like, you know, the tone of the lead instrument.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did incorporate, like, there are songs on there that have, I mean, I say it's electronic, but I realize as I'm saying this, not all of the songs are completely electronic. There is,
dishonest.
What'd you say?
That's dishonest, Morgan.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to try to make this right and clarify. But there are songs on there that are completely electronic that were just garage band creations. And then there are a handful of them that I am playing a real bass on and real guitar.
You made it sound like a real bass, a real live bass.
A real live bass, a real...
Yeah, they're even, you talk about it being primarily instrumental. There's some vocals in there.
There is
that
one
just
song.
on Chiron?
One song. Yeah, that's it.
That was on the play. We put that on the playlist last week in anticipation of your guesthood.
So kind. So kind.
I thought of it as a kind gesture more than anything. Why don't I put this track
You're
on
generous.
here? Morgan will think it's so kind.
I
It's
appreciate
very generous of me.
I try not to shit on myself so much, but it's just I still very much feel like I am still in a like very... I've been making music for literally my whole life, and I still always feel like I'm still figuring it out. I'm still exploring it. Literally.
Literally. My whole life.
Absolutely, literally. I've been doing dongles and jingles my whole life.
Yeah, I love some of the dongles on this album. But you mentioned how you try not to shit on yourself, and when I reached out to you to say, hey, I really like the album that you released, sent me a quick paragraph saying, "Oh, it's hardly even an album. It's barely. I don't even know if it's
some
barely.
shit that I did.
They should be on a separate lower
Don't
tier
look at me.
Spotify." Don't look at me. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not my place to try to disabuse you of that notion, but I enjoy listening to it without any of these weird qualifications that you're putting on it.
I know. I'm sorry. It's in the words of, never mind, I'm not going to do it. I was about to make an REM reference, and I really don't like REM. So, sorry to anyone who might love Michael Stipe's.
Well, now I want to hear what you were going to quote. Was it from a song or from something he said?
I was going to reference one of his lyrics and
Wait,
say,
okay. Hold on. Let's
that you
guess.
should just stand in the place that you are.
Damn it. I wanted to guess.
You know?
Stand in the place where you... But doesn't he tell you to also stand in the place where you were?
I don't know. I hate
You know what?
Now face.
You already
sometimes-
said that you didn't want to quote it, and we forced you to, so you don't have to stand by that
That's
quotation.
okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Should have stayed.
But really all I wanted to say was just it's for whatever reason, I think it's just the nature of being a human being and feeling vulnerable, unless you're a narcissist, but like feeling vulnerable about your artistic creations or expressions, and feeling like, oh, I know this isn't as good as somebody else's, or like they have such a distinct direction they're going in. And like when you don't really know, when you still just are like, I don't know. I still don't know. I still am figuring it out. I'm still out here. Like I don't have that there's something about it that for some reason it's hard to just like be present with that concept of just like, whatever, I'm still figuring it out. It's fine. Like, there's no, who's timing me right now? who's checking on when I'm gonna finally become, I don't know, one of the greatest artists of our time.
I hate
no
to tell
one's
you this, but
asking.
well, that's a thing that we do regularly on the podcast. Is we're like,
Time.
how's Morgan going? How's the development?
I don't think she's gonna make it. To
Is
be
she the
honest,
best
she's
yet?
not gonna get in there.
Almost,
exactly.
but not
Is she
quite.
the best yet? Exactly.
She took a whole day to watch all of these Planet of the Apes movies. I don't know,
getting
man.
better
Be
during
bothered.
then.
Yeah.
She couldn't be bothered to just even write a new score for the Planet of the Apes films. I don't understand. Yeah. But anyways,
I would like to say I commend you for your album making. I think it sounds like a really cool idea, and
Thank you.
I don't know. I'm really jealous of like just being able to like sit down and pump out songs in their entirety. Like the songs I've written very few songs in my life, and they've taken me months at a time just because I'm constantly editing.
I can
can't
relate.
I don't like the things that I make.
English majors,
Yeah.
always editing.
I think it's one of those things that it's like when you have, not to be like, I have great taste, but I think when you have some kind of level of taste where you're like, and
I'm the only one that got a compliment in her agreements.
I'm just saying it's hard because people have given me this advice, and I think it's applicable. It's like when you have good taste in whatever it is, music, lyrics, writing, whatever, any kind of media, it's like then you are gonna try to put yourself up against these things that you know you love, and you've like applied all of your filters of what made it good and what made it worthy, and then now you're about to do that to yourself, and it's like,
I like Joni Mitchell. I wrote a song. Now Joni Mitchell and I are peers, and we can be judged on the same level.
Exactly. And it's like, you can't, so it's like, I don't know, I think, but I try to remember that it's like, this might sound corny, but I'm an embarrassingly sentimental person, and like I think that every person literally does have like a birthright to make whatever you want, like to create it. When it comes to art and creativity, you can suck at it. You're allowed to not even be good at it, and there's a lot of pressure put on people, especially nowadays. But I think it's always existed. It's just we're more aware of it now. But there's so much comparison, and you can't do that. We're all completely different people. No matter how much we have in common, we are all we all have our own totally unique inner worlds, and that is what is contributing to the uniqueness of whatever product or project you create, and like by the virtue of that fact alone, I think everyone should feel like, no one should cut themselves off at the knees before they even start doing something. And that's what I've done for a really long time, is like, I'll start something and be like, no, I don't like it. This sounds stupid, or, whatever it is. And it's really just a matter of just doing it. I mean, and again, the electronic stuff for me was kind of like a stepping stone towards, just being comfortable in general with writing more lyrics. Again, like I've learned, I think there's like a little bit of like two sides of, I don't know, the creation aspect for me. And it's like, there's okay, I can build an electronic song from the top up, or the bottom up. Top down, bottom up, bottoms down, and all around. I can do it. No, but there's that, and I've realized when I do that, I cut myself out of the process when it comes to expression. In some capacity, like when it comes to whatever lyrics or whatever, like I'm no longer, it's like I can't fit into that process for whatever reason. I've tried, and it's tricky. Even in Chiron, to be honest with you, I like had written those lyrics a long time ago for a totally different song, and I just repurposed them for this song because I was like, I don't know what else to think. Like, I'll just do this again, But I do love the way it turned out. But anyways,
I don't know why you use that voice to talk to yourself. It seems very stressful.
It's just it's less threatening that way.
I can fight
it's like
this person.
It's easier to slap that mosquito away. But anyways, but when it comes to like more organic music, and by that I mean guitars, drums, bass, whatever, I just have a totally different process, and I haven't really been doing that a lot until the last like couple of months. And I'm excited about what that will yield. It will definitely I can say without a doubt it would be very different from the electronic stuff, but I love the electronic stuff, so I'm sure I'll always be toying with that. But, you know, I get excited about like the possibilities of just, I don't know, I could make 10 different albums that are of 10 completely different genres. Like,
one of which is going to be a Planet of the Apes score, from what I understand.
I
Yeah.
heard Pokemon.
I heard that
Guys.
announced. Oh, a Pokemon score.
I did have a really crazy idea. I'm not a good creative writer when it comes to like narratives. Like songs are kind of more abstract.
What about
Creative
technical
stuff-
journals? Are you good at technical writing?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I need
I
someone
can
to
do
do
a
an
good
instruction
schematic.
manual. Okay, good.
But I had I literally dreamt a weird like sci-fi narrative, like from beginning to end, and I was like, I think I want to make this into like a fiction podcast and write a score for it. That I had that idea really recently. And I don't know how I'm
Again,
gonna
if
do
you're
it,
here to
but
ask us to be on it, yes,
I'm
the
gonna
answer
want
is
voice
yes.
actors.
Are
I'm
you
gonna want voice actors.
are you saying you're
You mean you need a voice actor?
Yes, please. Sign.
Did you hear our Christina Aguilera impressions? They're
I
great.
sure did.
I'm just
I
glad
absolutely
some
did.
middle-aged white men are going to get some work.
I loved the voice. I can't remember who did it off the top of my head now, but whoever voiced the what were they, the creatures from the deep sea gigantism? Whoever did the Stitch, meatball or meatwad
Dave Coulier?
adjacent voice that was like, nice to meet you. You might not
Oh, that
remember,
was
but
me.
this was that.
Oh.
Yes, that was Chef's Kiss. That I
All
loved
right.
it. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
We've
I
all
can't
got a
do that
lot of
voice, but-
characters who people the stage here at Grand National Championships.
But anyways, I'm sorry I've ranted so long. I'm ready for a quiz whenever you guys are.
Okay, favorite co-host.
Calm down.
Take it easy. You win one contest,
gonna
all of a
ace
sudden you start giving us instructions about when the quiz happens.
I know.
Take it back a step.
Sorry.
Right now, I think we should probably get into a trivia challenge. That's right. It's
Oh, it
quiz
was
time
Alistair's
after
idea.
all. What'd you say?
It was Alistair's idea.
Oh boy. It's time for every human's favorite question and answer fun game. I already knew that a long time ago. With your host, Alistair St. Hill.
That's right. It's who has the most Twitter followers out of two people. With me, your host, Alistair St. Hill.
What?
In this quiz, I'm going to be giving you a pair of individuals or entities, non-governmental agencies and non-human entities, and you will tell me out of the two, I'm doing hand gestures, but they're below the camera. You will tell me out of the two who has more followers on Twitter. So I think
Okay.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you collectively the question. You'll make note of who you're voting for or whatever, and then
Oh.
I'll ask around, and whoever gets it right gets a point, and whoever gets it wrong doesn't get a point. That sound
They
good?
get paintball.
I don't think Jotham like this.
Jotham likes
No, I
it?
was looking to write.
Oh, I
was
forgot
gonna
to
write
tell
with.
people about pencil and paper potentially for
Yeah.
this one. I feel like
potential
maybe it could
pencil
just
and
be on the
paper.
honor system. We're just going to be going around saying who we think it is. It's not like hearing
Yeah.
someone say one or the other could really sway you. Maybe.
Okay.
This
I think
isn't. We're not gonna win a gift card or anything
You're not going to win nothing.
to Golden Crow. All right.
And when I wrote down the names, it says J. Joe Moko.
That's the place we want to go
Oh,
to get away from it all.
Oh my god, I thought you were making a Kokomo joke.
I was.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
oh my God. Man,
It was close.
you have such poor retention, you don't even remember why they went to Kokomo in the song.
I didn't.
It was to
I
get
really
away from it
didn't.
all.
I was thinking about Bermuda, Bahamas, come on, pretty mama. you know?
Aruba, Jamaica. They want to take you. Nah. Okay, number one. Ow.
Oh no.
Fuck out of my
What'd you
hand.
do, boy?
Ow.
Can't camera's shaking.
There's a lot of
Everything's
blood.
terrible. Now you have this bandage on your head.
Yeah. Morgan, I recently underwent some scalp surgery. Got a couple of lumps taken care of. I'm much
Did you really?
much smoother than the last time you saw me.
How does it feel?
It feels amazing to be smooth. I'm still. I got a couple weeks until I get the stitches out on this guy. Just took care of this one yesterday.
Jeez.
Feeling good.
Well, good. I'm glad. I'm
Thank
glad you aren't suffering right now.
Thank you, Morgan. That's a kinder word than any of my co-hosts have said about the situation. Question 1. Amber Rose versus the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, Prince William, and Kate Middleton. Out of those two entities, who has the most Twitter followers? Amber Rose or the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, who have a joint account? Jared, who?
I'm
That's
going to
tough.
go with royalty.
Jotham, who?
I mean, I don't know who Amber Rose is.
So who are you
That's too
voting? So
bad.
you're voting for the other ones?
No, I'm gonna vote for her.
Okay. Mongtron,
Amber Rose.
Corin.
Amber Rose as well.
Jared, I'm very sorry to tell you, Amber Rose has 3.8 million followers. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, a paltry 2 million.
Ugh.
Question
Gotta look her
2.
up.
Yeah, it's time.
Pretty
It's time
much
for you
if
to-
it's a hot lady, it's gonna win.
If
Over royalty.
the way
Sorry,
I
go
always
on.
say it is, if it's a hot lady, it is going to win.
This applies in every situation. If it's a hot lady, if it's if you're at a gas station and you don't know what snack to get the snack that's got a hot lady on the cover.
Oh man, can you imagine picking your candy bars based on how hot the people on them were?
Well, because usually there's not people on them. It's like,
Yeah.
I guess the green M&M is pretty hot. So
I guess that
I'll
is
get
maybe
that.
the hottest
Yeah,
candy.
that's the sexiest.
What about the
candy
Mary
mascot.
Jane woman?
What's a Mary Jane?
In the Mary
Yeah,
Jane
like-
candy, did it have a little lady
Is that
on
like
it?
is that the peanut butter candy?
Is there anyone that has like a sexy
Cheetah bananas,
dude
that
with his
count?
abs? Is there a guy with abs on a Charleston chew? Yeah, I think so. I think there's a guy who's like pulling up his shirt and he's ripped.
No, those are on Sugar Daddies.
Oh, that makes more sense. Question 2. Playboy Cardi versus Jurassic Park, the official Twitter account of Jurassic Park.
Playboy Cardi?
Film franchise, huge since 1994. Corin, Playboy Cardi or
Playboy Cardi.
okay. What do you think, Mongtron?
I guess I'm confused. Playboy Cardi is a person?
Human being, musical artist.
I guess I'll go with that.
Okay. Jotham, who do you say?
Can't go wrong with Playboy Cardi.
You cannot.
You know
Jared?
what I will say?
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Team
Outlier.
Instinct.
Sound like
Jared.
dinosaurs.
Sorry to tell you.
Man.
0 to 2 to 2 to 2. Playboy Cardi has 1.9 million followers to Jurassic Park's 26,200.
Oof.
What?
Jurassic Park, what are you doing?
And they're all bots.
That's
I'm
the
just kidding.
official Jurassic Park.
It's
mean-
verified. It's the official Jurassic Park
They need
Twitter
a new PR
account.
team.
Dark Day
Yeah.
for Dinosaurs.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing that Jurassic Park needs. It's a PR team.
Question 3. The football player who goes by the caveman name Gronk, Rob Gronkowski, versus Deepak Chopra.
Oh God, I know
Oh.
it's probably Gronk. Sorry, you didn't ask me to go, but
Go ahead, Morgan. Who do you think? Gronk?
Gronk.
Gronk. Corin, what do you think?
Gronk.
Jared, what do you think?
I also say Gronk.
Jotham?
Gronk all day.
Gronk all day.
Man.
Whoa!
Party all
Everyone was
night.
wrong. Deepak Chopra has 3.2 million followers to Gronk's 3.1.
That was close though.
close.
That could change very soon.
It could be different right now.
You know, Can I share a quick Gronk-related anecdote?
Please do.
Please do.
Yeah.
It's very quick. It's just Jenny Slate did a Netflix special, and it was hilarious, by the way. I absolutely loved it. But when she mentioned in a bit about sports, when she mentioned the name Gronk, I thought she just made it up. I thought she just like made it up because it sounds like a stupid caveman name. And I was like, that's so funny. And then when people were like, oh, did you see Gronk? I was like, it's
as though they had
like
said
I switched realities a little bit. Like I just stepped right out of like, oh, I thought we were all, somewhat.
No, man, Gronk is a real person, beloved by millions. Apparently, follow
It's
his
like
every word.
walking out on the beach and then seeing it was your own planet all along.
Yes, thank you. It is
You're welcome.
exactly
You
like
looked
Planet
and saw
of
the
Apes.
Statue of Liberty, but with Gronk's face.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God. Anyway,
Question
sorry,
4:
let's-
Stacey Abrams versus Dan Rather.
Sorry, what was that second one?
Stacey Abrams and Dan Rather, famous
that first one?
old newsman from the 80s and 90s, now a Twitter personality of his own right. Stacey Abrams is the Georgia, I don't even know what her exact position is. She's basically responsible for delivering the election in Georgia,
yes.
and maybe running for governor sometime soon. Stacey Abrams versus Dan Rather. Jared, who's got more?
I'm gonna say Dan Rather.
Jotham, who's got more?
Dan Rather.
Morgan, who's got more?
I'm going to say Stacey Abrams.
Corin, who's got more?
I want Stacey Abrams to have more, so I'm willing it to happen.
Corin and Morgan. Yeah! Stacey Abrams, 2.5 to 2.1 million.
Oof.
Get out of here, Dan Rather.
Isn't Dan Rather kind of
I'd
like
rather.
a character on Twitter? Like, doesn't he have like?
He says things that it doesn't seem like a man
It's
of
him.
his advanced years might be into. He says, like, he'll say that, a song is a bop. He'll talk about
WAP was a
spilling
bop.
tea and such.
Mm.
Question 5. Hillary Clinton versus Bon Jovi.
Mm.
Famous 1980s rock band Bon Jovi versus politician and presidential candidate Hillary Clinton. Who's got more? Morgan.
I'm going to say Hillary.
Corin.
I'm going HRC on this one. She's all over Twitter.
HRC. I'm all about NRP. That's what's that again? The Pokemon thing?
National, I don't even know.
New
New regional
regional-
Pokemon, yeah.
New regional.
Yeah.
Pokemon. Jotham, who's got more? Hillary Clinton or Bon Jovi?
Hillary.
Jared?
I will also say Hillary.
All right.
Oh, well.
Nobody advances. Everyone wins.
I didn't know until recently that Bon Jovi is a respelling of his.
Bon Jovi.
Yeah, it's Bon Jovi.
His name is John Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi. John Francis Bon Jovi. Yeah,
Oh.
that's great.
Jared is
That made me so happy.
breathlessly excited about this news.
Guys.
I heard his name. I started looking up the Wikipedia article to make sure I was right.
Like a puppy dog when we just got home to greet him. Question next. Phoebe Bridgers versus Superchunk. 1990s stalwart Superchunk versus Phoebe Bridgers. I always forget.
You have to do the
Jotham,
thing.
who's got more?
Phoebe.
Corin, who's got more?
Oh, it's tough. I'll go with the Phoebe Bridgers.
I'll make him an offer that's tough.
Calm down, Bon Jovi.
Morgan, who's got Morgan?
Phoebe Bridgers.
Jared,
I also say Phoebe Bridgers. Yeah. Phoebe Bridgers.
you guys nailed it. Next up, from Oxford, England, Radiohead versus comedian Jim Gaffigan. Who's got more, Radiohead or Jim Gaffigan?
Yikes.
This is a good one.
It's a real
Oh
stumper.
yeah, I have to
Who
ask
you
you
gonna
then.
ask?
Corin, who's got more?
Oh man, I don't want to go first on this one.
Yeah.
I'll be hopeful and say Radiohead.
Okay. Morgan, who's got more?
Yeah, I don't like Jaffa Jam.
What's wrong with Jeff?
I'm gonna just go
fine.
with the context that is Twitter and say Jim Gaffigan.
Jared, what do you say?
I also say Jim Gaffigan
Jotham?
for the same reason.
Jim Gaffigan.
I like that your reason was because of Twitter. Jim Gaffigan wins it because of Twitter.
Well, it's just like a lot of people are on Twitter for little quippy, fun moments, and Radiohead's not, I don't
Tom
think,
York not
delivering
very
those. Not by my measure.
The
I mean, I
singers.
love Radiohead, but I just knew that it's not their domain, you know?
No,
Tom
yeah,
York's
it's
always
very
teeing off on
very
people on Twitter.
pithy stuff. He talks about, being skinned alive
Dunking on
and
him.
such. Next up, Dua Lipa versus Dr. Oz. I don't know exactly what Dr. Oz does, but I know Oprah made him famous, and he has shows where maybe he delivers like some unsound medical
Babies.
advice.
Some unsound babies.
Wait, who's the first one?
Dua Lipa,
This
A
one will not
musician?
do.
Dua
a
Lipa,
musician, Dua Lipa.
pop musician.
She does a song that I call "Don't Start Karen" because she says, "Don't start caring about me now.
walk away.
You know
how. Don't start caring about me now.
So, singer of
Yeah.
"Don't Start Karen," Dua Lipa versus Dr. Oz. Jotham.
This Dua Lipa character's pretty popular, huh?
Trying to get out of
This
it.
guy,
I don't know.
but
Is
this
that
guy has been touched by Oprah. So
You
Yeah,
tell
Dr.
me.
Dr. Oz
I'm
has
gonna go
been-
Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz. Because I've never heard of this other nobody.
Morgan. Who has
I'm
more?
gonna go with Dua Lipa.
Corin.
I'll do a Lipa too.
Jared.
I'm going to say Dr. Oz because of the Oprah factor.
The
To
Oprah
those who
factor.
said Dua Lipa, that's correct.
I knew
Thank
it.
you.
Dua Lipa has
Thank you. I will collect my
7.4
points.
million, and Dr. Oz has 3.9 million. All right, next up, Nathan Fielder versus Thoughts of Dog, which is
Fuck.
the Twitter account that's just like things that a dog might think.
Mm-hmm.
Jared, who has more, Nathan Fielder or Thoughts of Dog?
Thoughts of dog.
Jotham.
I just love Nathan Fielder so much, so I'm gonna go with him.
All right. Morgan.
Going to go with Thoughts of Dog.
It's the right choice.
Corin.
TOD.
TOD is in fact nothing to fuck with. Thoughts of Dog wins 3.5 million to
Wait a minute.
What? What?
Who ain't nothing to fuck with?
Thoughts of Dog.
Right on.
3 point. What did I say? Something weird?
No, it was just very funny.
What, are you making a
TOD.
Wu-Tang reference?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are also not anything to fuck with which to fuck. Thoughts of Dog has 3.5 million. Nathan Fielder only has 451,000. All right. This one is for a second I thought I expelled something from my nose while I was laughing so heartily.
What's the score? Is this the
Yikes.
final question?
Nope, we got a few more to go. Jared has 4, Jotham with 5, Morgan
What?
8,
What?
to Corin 7. Doesn't
All right,
sound right
Jotham.
to you? I encourage you to write a quiz of your own and keep track of this bullshit with all this pieces of paper. You're trying to do the show at the same damn time.
You ungrateful bastards.
Ah,
Me and Jotham need to have a sidebar to derail this whole thing. Real
favorite
quick.
co-host. Next up, question what I believe is 10. What I believe is 10.
I think it's 11, but go on.
Easy, pal.
Oh, shit.
Jesus. I already said you're winning.
Wow.
Calm down, Mongtron.
I can't be stopped.
Science Magazine versus New Scientist Magazine.
Oh, fuck.
One of those doesn't have anything to do with science,
This
right?
twisted Morgan's mind. She said, "Oh fuck." No,
One of
these are
those
both
is-
science magazines, and I noticed
Are
them
they?
right next to each other in my feed. And yeah, it's true. One of them could be related to some weird, like, fringe
the
religious
Earth
type
is flat.
organization. But one's Science Magazine and one is New Scientist Magazine. And so, Jared, which one has more, Science Magazine or New Scientist?
The
magazine?
Science magazine sounds more straightforward. New Scientist, that sounds
I'm a new
culty.
scientist.
sounds weird.
Not like one of them bullshit old scientists.
Okay, so
With all their fucking numbers and
since
shit.
the point of this quiz is for you to tell me how you feel about each one, I guess you're done giving me an answer.
Yes. Science magazine.
Okay, you didn't say that. You just said,
I
I
did.
think that one's more real. You didn't say you think it has more followers.
It was covered up by my very funny and unnecessary joke.
Jotham, what do you think?
Science.
What do you think? Science. All right, bud.
You
Morgan?
knucklehead.
I'm going to go with New Scientist magazine.
And Corin.
I'm going with the weird bullshit new scientists.
All right. New Scientist has 3.8 million followers to Science Magazine's weak ass motherfucking 2 million followers.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's how it is.
So
Yep.
Morgan is now winning 9-8. It's turning into a 2-person race as Corin is clinging on to the slightest bit of relevance in this contest.
In life.
And
Why did I have to go? Why did I have to
it
go
also
with
says end life.
Radiohead?
Question 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is 12.
Yeah, this is 11.
Sorry, I'm what?
It's 11.
Ooh.
1,
Are you
2,
sure?
3, 4, 5.
Just trying to usurp the throne here.
This is 11, yeah. There are 15
I really
total.
think it's 12. There was Amber Rose, Playboy, Cardi, Gronk, Stacey Abrams, Hillary, Rodham, Clinton, Phoebe Bridgers, Radiohead. No, you're right. I fucked up. No.
I like that you
Big
made a
of
big
you.
deal of running your mouth about it.
I
Hey,
yield.
I got
the
one thing to
floor.
say. Walk away, you know how. Don't start care, Morgan, about me now. Don't start Morgan about me now. Yeah, I'll work out the lyrics. I've got a top
Get it-
liner on
turn
Fiverr.
it in by tonight. Turn it in by midnight.
Okay. Question 11. Vogue magazine versus Pitchfork Media, whatever it's called. Pitchfork, music review site. Jotham. Who's got more, Vogue or Pitchfork?
Vogue.
Strike pose. Jared.
I also say Vogue.
Corin.
I will trace say Vogue.
Morgan.
Mm,
Is
Well,
Morgan
riding
gonna
on this, Morgan.
stay with the
I'm
pack
gonna-
or differentiate?
it's
She's got
hard.
points to
I'm
burn.
gonna, I'm gonna go
you
with
don't- she doesn't have
Pitchfork.
point. Wait, Pitchfork?
I'm gonna go with Pitchfork.
Oh, okay,
Wow.
that's probably a good.
I can't believe the things you say.
Incorrect. Pitchfork is wrong. Everyone else got it right, though. Vogue has 13.9 million followers compared to Pitchfork's 3.3. Morgan has 9. Corin has 9. Jotham with 7 and Jared with 5. No, sorry, Jotham with 6 and Jared with 5. Question 12. Consequence of Sound versus Madlib, the producer and rapper. Consequence of Sound versus Madlib. Morgan, what do you say?
I'm going with my instincts here, and I'm just gonna say Consequence of Sound.
Corin, what do you think?
Same.
Uh-oh. Jotham, what do you say?
Mad Lib.
Jared?
I say Madlib also. Because I got nothing to lose except the
Yeah.
whole game.
Except
So my ego.
my dignity and my fortune. The answer is Consequence of Sound, 253,000 to 221,000.
Woo.
We're closing in. Last 3
Yeah,
questions.
still.
We knew it was coming. Dunham versus Dunham. Lena Dunham versus Jeff Dunham, the famous puppet man.
The famous puppet man.
Well,
It's Jeff Dunham, obviously.
oh, you mean, I get it. You were answering the question, who's the famous puppet man? Let me clarify.
It's Jeff Dunham's monster puppet.
Monster.
Just kidding, I don't know.
Which of these monster puppet people
Oh my God.
has more Twitter followers, Lena Dunham or Jeff Dunham? Jared, go.
Jeff Dunham.
Jotham, go.
Jeff Dunham.
Morgan, go.
I'm going to go with Lena Dunham.
Corin, go.
For the win.
I'm gonna go with Lena Dunham.
Ooh.
I don't think Jeff's on Twitter.
I see.
I don't think puppets translate to Twitter.
Right.
You can see his lips moving more easily when he's typing for his puppets.
That's the only time his lips move.
For one thing, Corin, I'm a little offended that you think I would put someone on the quiz who's not on Twitter. All of these are on Twitter.
I mean, I don't think he's
His
good on
presence
Twitter.
is not very, yeah.
Lena Dunham has 5.3 million followers. Jeff Dunham has 537,000. Not a strong presence from Jeff Dunham.
Thank God.
Wow.
Take that, puppet.
That
man.
is actually encouraging. I assumed it was going to be a lot more.
The world's headed the right way, or at least
Yeah.
Twitter is.
Out of
I mean,
his
Lena
way.
Dunham's problematic in her own ways.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just know she has her hooks in the internet. So I just was like, yeah.
She knows
she's
how to
got-
work the
she's got
system.
followers.
And Corin knew that if he says the same thing as you, he's less likely to lose.
Yeah.
Question 14, penultimate question. Stephen King, famous scary author, versus Seth Rogen.
Famous guy.
Jotham, go.
Seth Rogen.
Jared, go.
Seth Rogen.
Morgan, go.
I'm going to also say Seth Rogen.
Corin, go.
I'm gonna say Seth Rogen.
Everyone is...
Yeah!
We're going into the final question here. For this, I want everyone to write down their answers, and we'll present them at the end. Make sure it's written down so no one can copy off the other. The final clash of the Titans. We've made reference to one or two of them before. It's Ellen DeGeneres versus Oprah Winfrey.
What?
Which of these media titans has more followers on the social networking platform Twitter? Who is sponsoring this week's program? Twitter. It's where you can read people cussing at the president.
And thoughts of dog.
And thoughts of dog. Sometimes thoughts of dog cusses at the president if it's the right president. Jared, who'd you say?
Oprah, but it's backwards, so you can't see.
No,
I
it's
can write it down.
it's the right.
It was regular way.
Was it?
Right way.
Well, it's backwards on my screen.
Yeah, that's how Zoom works. Have you ever watched any of the videos? It's not backwards to us. Jesus Lord. I wish I could talk like Foghorn Leghorn. I'd say something I'd say something insulting to you in a southern accent.
It's funny because Jared can.
Jotham.
I said.
The ultimate irony. Everyone's okay, thank you. I don't know if I like how everyone's holding up their phones like this.
Well, I didn't have any utensil to write with.
Morgan. Who'd
Do
you
I have to hold up my paper?
No, I trust you, Morgan.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. I'm going to go with Ellen DeGeneres.
Corin, who do you say?
I said ED, Ellen DeGeneres.
Ed? That wasn't one of the options.
I said erectile dysfunction. Guys, I have something to talk to you about.
See, Alice is sponsoring this show
And
today.
Twitter.
And Twitter.
We have a lot of
The
sponsors.
Cialis Twitter account.
I'm just here today.
Ooh,
I brought
who
my
has more, Cialis
sponsors.
or the other guy?
You know what? Who is the other guy? By the way, it was Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah!
We've got a tie. Morgan
Jared,
and Corin.
we're bad at this.
I know. I don't even have a
I
Twitter.
feel like you guys were doing
I-
well at the end. It was just
I
maybe
don't
the
have a
beginning
Twitter
that was-
account. Does that help or like hurt? Are you guys on
I mean,
Twitter?
Yeah, do
I'll
we get
just
a
say-
handicap because we don't pay attention to Twitter?
Yeah, every day I'm on there just checking people's followers. Who's got the most? Who's
Well, I
got
mean,
the least?
I was going to say,
Obviously.
I
That's how I spend most
I-
of my time on Twitter.
don't follow any of these people. I'll just say that. Any of the people that were mentioned today, I don't follow any of them. I barely use Twitter, but all this
I'm
is
aware
to say,
of the internet.
it's just a matter of.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah,
the
Corey.
internet is like a room, and you got to read it. That's all. You read the room, and I know that the room of the internet is like, we like quick, punchy. We don't like to think too much, and that's it. That's definitely Twitter. So I don't know. That's how I came up with my answers.
You're really roasting the internet with that voice that you gave them.
Oh my God, I'm the internet.
I'm the fucking internet, and if you try to fuck with me, all of my friends will troll you.
Wait,
And
who
they'll
are the
get to your
internet's
DMs.
friends?
I don't know. It's like your mutuals that you've never met, but for some reason you will die for. That's the vibe of the internet. It's like these long-lasting, we went to camp together, but no, we didn't, friendships, and they will kill for each other.
We went to Twitter together.
Now, Reddit, on the other hand, no, just kidding. I won't go there.
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend, you don't want to know. You don't want to know this tea, sister.
More. You sound like Dan Rather, girl. I think we're going to take a brief break, and then we're going to come back and do the news right quick. Is that cool? Is anybody?
Are you asking me?
We're running a little long, but we're going to do some quick news. And
Because
then
I
we'll,
talked about Pokemon too much.
no, I think it's because
Not
you talked
enough.
about Pokemon just the right amount. So we're going to take a break. It'll be like 5 minutes, and then if anyone needs to take a comfort break, and then we'll be right back. After this, everyone made such a weird
Great.
face when I talked about the toilet.
You said comfort break is the problem.
Yeah, but you know where you get the most comfort. It's the toilet.
I've never taken a comfort break in my life.
All right, now we're really taking a break. Bye. Hello. You're listening to Grand National Championships. We are back, and we are joined by Morgan Burgess, aka Mongtron. Her new album is called 29. You can find it on all your standard music platforms. I encourage you to check it out, listen to it, absorb it. And in the meanwhile, I'd love it if you would check out some news. Why don't you start us off, Jotham?
There is a 19-year-old in Oregon, Joe Hebert, who... Oh, is Corin going to do that one?
Gun or a gun.
What did I say? Oregon? Oregon?
Yeah, it's like a gun.
Oregon.
It's like if you say...
Really? I've said Oregon my whole life.
If you say
I
that's
never
wrong.
really say that out loud, but I guess in my head.
Nevada instead of Nevada, or is it the other way around? Darn it!
No,
I feel like it's non-intuitive.
we have to ask a Nevadan.
It's
don't know any.
It's a Nevadian. Show some respect.
So this 19-year-old he's a shoe flipper, and he did a piece with Bloomberg voluntarily. Bloomberg Business Week. They published a quote lush profile that is hyperlinked in this article about his budding sneaker resale business. And I guess what's different about this guy is like most of these other flippers are not as open about this stuff, but he just wanted to talk about it, and he's got a big old Instagram account. But what happened is during this interview, they saw like during a phone call that his mom's name was on the caller ID. So they looked into it, and she's an executive for Nike, and she worked there 25 years. And then they also noticed that the credit card, the Amex, like he wanted to prove like he was spending this money and like her name was on it. So he's catching so much shit from all these sneakerheads on the internet.
So it's he's been caught juicing.
Flipper
Is
scandal
that
of the year.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like steroids, my friend.
That's what I was thinking you were saying. I was just making sure we we're on the same page.
It's like performance enhancing. It's like
Performance
deep sea
enhancing.
So what you're saying
gigantism,
is-
but for shoes.
It's good.
Yeah.
Like we should all be juicing.
It's healthy for you.
So this guy had inside information.
Some it seems like the story's still developing, but at inside information, like in 2020, he just happened to, run into some guy on the internet or whatever, and he bought some dead stock of the Back to the Future 2 shoes that came out in 2011.
Oh yeah.
So he came across like three pairs of those, and they go for over $10,000 a piece. And everything was just it worked out a little too well for him, and this is why.
So did he do anything illegal or just highly immoral among sneakerheads with a Z?
I mean, I think immoral among sneakerheads, and it's unclear though. The woman, she stepped down from Nike. I don't know if
Because of this?
Yeah, because of this.
Really?
Yeah, she was a VP of whatever, blah 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 in the U.S. And then this came out, and she immediately resigned.
Oh.
She worked there 25 years.
Cost his
I'm sure
mom
she's fine.
her job.
I wonder how their relationship is doing right now.
Yeah, I've thought about that a lot today. Actually,
You say he's 19?
I mean, for a few minutes.
He was
What?
19 for a few minutes.
He was 19 for a few minutes. Yes. Yeah.
Have you guys ever had a job that tied in with a hobby of yours? Like I worked at a record store for a little while, and I collected records, and I spent way too much money that I made at the record store buying records.
Oh yeah.
I worked at a restaurant.
And you
I like to
loved mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, mozzarella sticks, so made sense.
I worked at a bar,
Yeah, exactly.
so on and so forth.
I worked at a bagel place for 10 days, but I was mostly just eating the free bagels.
You guys are making great jokes, but bagels are not hobbies.
Just eating.
What did you say, Jared?
Bagels are not hobbies.
Mostly eating free bagels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't pay for a single bagel.
Did you ever encounter a bagel so fucking wicked
Salacious.
sweet that you wanted to like put it on your wall and keep it forever, like preserve it?
No, man, you eat that shit immediately.
No, idiot.
So, mutual friend of ours, Kane, used to work at Einstein Bagel, right? And he
Common
would, like,
friend
get
of ours. I think
Common-
it's pretty presumptuous for us
Sorry.
to say that he was our friend too.
He used to work at Einstein Bagel, and every now and then he would take me there, like because he would get like a free meal or free lunch. We'd like get whatever. The first time we went there, they're like, "You want to get a sandwich?" I was like, "Oh, you have sandwiches? That's cool. I'll get a chicken salad sandwich." And they're like, "Okay, well, what kind of bagel would you like?" And in my mind, I thought that was like, "Oh, I got a bagel on the side of with the sandwich. Okay, well, whatever." So
Give
I'll
me
get a
the weirdest, sweetest bagel you got.
So I said chocolate chip bagel, and the guy looked at me like really weird. He was like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, man, love chocolate chip bagels." Oh, okay. So he served me a chicken salad sandwich on a toasted chocolate chip bagel, and it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I know. I mean, in the end, like if you just close your eyes and eat the bagel, like you're gonna do okay.
Yeah.
You know, they're not gonna have any two
They said that
things
to me a
on
few
too
times.
far.
You're gonna be okay. Don't worry.
But yeah, I guess like if you got like jalapeno cream cheese, if you got all up in your cream cheese and on a chocolate chip bagel, then like maybe that would be an extreme mixed match. But I bet you could play off some chocolate and turkey. I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
did
had to.
chicken salad. I mean, not turkey. I invented
Alice
a
is
turkey
on his own
sandwich.
remix.
Oh yeah, I can imagine having a turkey sandwich right now. Oh yeah. Also, I have these chocolates that were left over from, I don't know, from Valentine's
To
Day
eat
or
chocolates in
something.
front of us.
They're dark chocolate
sea
with
salt?
sea salt and caramel, but the sea salt, there's a lot of it on there. And like enough that like it's just a big salty mouthful. Like I love a good combo of salty and sweet, but this is it's really like taking in a mouthful of ocean water. And do you guys have any other like besides Jared's? Do you have any flavor mismatch stories? You ever accidentally put garlic salt in your in your cereal instead of cinnamon sugar because the containers look so very similar?
No.
I have I got a candle in the mail today that is pineapple evergreen.
That's a good mix.
which sounds
You
weird,
ordered it?
but it's good. Yeah, I ordered it.
Okay. Did you had you smelled it before, or you
Nah.
just like took
One
a
person on
chance?
Amazon, this sounds weird, but it's good, and I was like, okay, good enough
Did you
for
have
me.
a need for a candle, or did you like just come across it?
I had a need for buying
I
a
like
less
this questioning.
expensive candle than the one that I had been buying. But it turns out this is just way smaller, so it's really actually more expensive.
Jotham, do you remember when you worked in the candle shop and you spent all your money on candles?
My house just littered with candles. I didn't use the electricity for a while.
Not even to heat the water. I just put them under the tub.
Cooking. Yeah.
I had to investigate because it seems risky to me to buy a candle online because you don't know what it's going to smell like. You know what I mean?
I mean, there was like
Smell
22,000 reviews on Amazon for the brand, so I figured, how bad can it be?
Right. Fair.
He's a real wild card.
My partner Mandy at Christmas time had a candle that I believe she replenished it online. I don't know how she first found it, but she bought it online and the price had like spiked because apparently this was the hot candle of the season or something.
Wow.
They're all
So
pretty
Hot
hot.
candle.
Yeah. Hot candles, check in and see. Many candles, about 103. So we burned it all the way out because like we were burning it every night. It was Christmas time. We were like, we were deep in the season. So we got the second candle. We were pacing it to make sure that it lasted through Christmas.
Taste the candle.
But we were like tracking the prices on it. We're like, she was like, I think they're supposed to be in stock at like the Target across town,
Wow.
but they cost this much. But we can get them on Amazon, but they no shipping on that. Lots of stuff.
What's
It was
the
your
scent?
Pokemon.
Writing a lot of numbers.
What
Yeah.
was the
Candles.
the hot candle scent?
I can't remember. It was,
Oh, come on.
I'm so sorry.
Come on.
It was the hot candle of the season.
I want to say winter green. No, I don't know what it was. It was like gum flavored. No, I
Gum flavored?
Okay.
yeah, it was a delicious candle. We ate a little bit every night, and it was just enough to last until Christmas. I don't know exactly what the flavor, what the smell was, but we sure enjoyed it. Jared, what's been in the news with you?
Well, Steve Vai has revealed he won't be able to play for a while following his recent trigger finger surgery, which he attributes to holding a tricky chord for too long. In an interview with the Guitar Villains podcast, Vai explains how he sustained his hand injury in the first place. I was doing this fun thing, and I had to put my thumb in this really weird position, he says. So I had to kind of hold this chord for a really long time. I was meditating on it, and I knew it was a hard position, and I just kept sitting there and playing it and playing and playing. And 20 minutes later, I'd kind of come out, and I felt pain in my hand. So he developed trigger finger, and now he has to get surgery, and he can't play guitar for
He'd kind
a
of
while.
come out and they make it sound like he was in a hallucinatory trance. And then
It was an
the first
ecstatic
half of that
revelry.
story, I imagine he was holding a chord, like doing some kind of home improvements.
not a guitar chord. It's like,
Go ahead.
sorry, I'm sorry. He just sounded like he gave too much of the story, in my opinion,
There's a lot
Steve
of,
Vai.
of his experience.
It's just, that was too much information, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it
You
could have
could've just
been
been
like-
I have played guitar for years and this hurts now.
Yeah.
Got it.
Instead, he's
Fixed.
like, I was lost inside the resonance of a single note. I did get drawn in by this Steve Vai video that came out like in the last 6 months or something like that. He put out this song where he was like doing some weird technique he had never
A
done
tricky
before.
chord.
It was a tricky chord, and yeah, all his fingers
doing
came
chord
out
tricks?
of joint.
He's like tech decks, but it's just like guitar tricks. Anyways,
But yeah, Steve Vai is a weird old guitar man, but I enjoyed watching that video of his recently. I'm sorry that it's awful to think about your finger coming out of joint just from holding a funky chord.
Yeah, I haven't
and
been brave enough
meditating
to
at the
look
same
up-
time.
to look up what trigger finger actually is. I imagine
it
it's some kind of
like-
terrible tendon
Or
thingy.
maybe it locks you up like
don't
this.
Eh,
Like maybe
have a hook.
it pulls you short, so like it looks like you're doing this.
Hmm.
Sounds possible.
Well,
feasible.
the guy who interviewed
Yes, it
them,
does.
also real quick, the guy who interviewed them asked him if it was an I might be saying this wrong, F sharp add 9 chord.
Steve Vai's like, trust me, you've never heard of it.
And Steve Vai said no, it was more like a D, demolished chord.
Oh, that's a good musician joke. Does anyone have a good musician joke?
No.
How do you know a drummer's at your door? The knocks speed up.
Hey.
Right?
Got him.
Hey, people who do other things in the band, fuck them, right?
Yeah.
Corin, what's in your news?
I'm glad you asked.
I know exactly what it is.
Cephalopod has passed a cognitive test designed for human children. A new test of cephalopod smarts has reinforced how important it is for us humans to understand animal intelligence. Cuttlefish have been able to take and pass the Marshmallow Test. The Marshmallow Test, or the Stanford Marshmallow Experiment, that's what it was called, I guess, is where they tortured children by placing them in a room with a marshmallow. They were told that if they can manage to not eat the marshmallow for 15 minutes, they'll get a second marshmallow and then be allowed to have both.
No one
I know
ever
that.
got the second marshmallow. They only ever had one marshmallow in Stanford.
So a cephalopod passed? Basically,
Yeah.
like the cephalopod was like, I'm not going to eat it because I want that other marshmallow. You
It was-
promised me too
It
if
was
I don't touch
not
the first one.
marshmallows, but
Oh, it was a different. Okay. I swear to God, I was like, what
the
do they want with marshmallows?
The Stanford Shrimp Experiment.
I did
Okay, gotcha.
I did imagine that they just put a marshmallow in there. It probably
I don't know. Let's see what they'll do.
when they ate
They
it,
didn't
probably
eat it because turns out they don't like them.
it probably would have tasted a lot like the sea salt dark chocolate blend. Very salty.
Wow.
So
anyway.
for
Sorry.
I was for just a second I was just thinking like the big reveal was going to be what was the treat? What did they give the cuttlefish?
It was either dead bait or live shrimp, like a frozen shrimp or an alive shrimp.
Once the
had
shrimp
to-
is dead, it's just bait, huh?
Yeah. And they're all bait in this scenario, I guess.
that shrimp
and they
had a
had
family.
different buttons to push. And if you push the one, you get the frozen guy right now. If you push the other button, it waits like a minute and it unleashes the live shrimp.
It bequeaths duplicate shrimp.
But I don't understand
is it
how they
actually
would have
pushing
let
the
them
buttons
know
with this thing
ahead of
with
time.
the
All right.
dinger, whatever it has.
The thing that shoots out of its mouth.
It did not say with which appendage it pushed the button.
By the way, it did it with its little mouth thing. It was so cool. But
That's what makes sense.
did
Anyway.
did they say how did they convey this to the cephalopod ahead of time? They showed it some runes that in its language.
They just talk to it in English. Okay, that's how it's gonna go. What's up?
They gave it an instruction manual.
I think
it's in there.
Steve Vai went into trance to meet the cephalopod in the dream
There you
world
go.
to communicate the
projected.
rules.
You think that's
exactly.
what this new chord was all about?
I think it's the only explanation and why he couldn't really tell you what the chord was. He's like, you wouldn't get it.
Yeah. Just
I'm
stick
under
with your
contract. Anyway,
Stanford Shrimp Experiment.
what else, guys?
Well, that's been the news. Wait, I got to everybody, right? News-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jared's was memorable. Well, guys, we've reached the part of the show where we talk about the Spotify playlist that all of us have definitely completed, filled out our 6 picks for the week. I unfortunately neglected 2. I don't have any picks right now. I know. Nope, I don't know anything. So after my gap in the playlist, it's going to be selections from Jotham. Jotham, you don't have anything picked out yet either?
I'm going to continue the gap until we get to Jared. So we're gonna have 12 songs of silence.
Yeah. In, I guess, someone's memory.
In memory.
Yeah. Jared,
Yeah.
what are you going to be playing this week?
I was a little lazy with it, honestly. I picked side one, track ones.
Oh, yeah, a
Again.
lot of them.
You can't go wrong, Jared.
Can't
Don't
go
apologize for that.
So we got some 4 by Aphex Twin off of the Richard D. James album. Race In by Battles from Mirrored. Cooper's World by Square Pusher from Hard Normal Daddy. Fly on the Wall by the Jesus Lizard from Down. Allison by Slow Dive from Souvlaki. And finally, Achilles' Last Stand by Led Zeppelin from Presence.
Hell yeah.
Side one, track one. Bold moves. Corin, what's on your playlist this week?
I have a few leftover songs that I found during last month that just didn't make it onto the playlists that I wanted to, and then 3 that are the antecedent. No,
Precedent?
yeah.
The Antichrist.
Yeah,
They
you're
are
thinking of
Antichrist songs. Yeah. No, they were sampled in more recent music. So the first one is Revolution Part 1 and 2 by Nina Simone. Le Fleur by Minnie Riperton, which really bops. I love that one.
Spilling the tea.
Anyone Who Knows What Love Is by Irma Thomas. And then I Can't Stand the Rain by Ann Peebles, which turned into Rain by Missy Elliott. You Got What I...
That's it.
One
right?
and the same. You Got What I Need by Freddie Scott, which turned into whatever that song was by Biz Markie. And then
Just a
Move
Friend,
On.
right? Was it Just
Yeah,
a
that's
Friend?
Correct. And then Move On
All right,
Up
pal.
by Curtis Mayfield, which became Kanye West's Touch the Sky.
Touch this guy.
Touch this guy.
Morgan?
Excuse me while I touch this guy. Okay. Anyways.
Anyway, that's
Kiss
my
this
time.
guy.
So Morgan, you, I suggested that you think about artists that you'd like to put on the playlist, but you can give me the formal list later, no big deal. And you were like, "Oh, motherfucker, I got so many."
Oh,
names."
you're gonna regret
You made it
this.
sound like you were gonna
You're gonna
send
regret
over
this.
what you got.
So I have some questions. Is
Mhm.
it just one artist, one song? What are the parameters?
We usually do 6 songs, and it's just whatever. I mean, we try not to make them like crazy long. If they're crazy long, we'll probably trim it down. But we look for about like 6 kind of normal songs from whatever. They could be you. They could be the songs you love. They could be classics. They could be brand new. They could be famous or obscure.
So 6 songs.
Yes,
That's
6
it.
is
Is
what
what
I'm
I'm
getting
hearing.
at.
All right.
6 is what I'm hearing.
So you're saying 6.
Did I get a niner in there? Niner?
I did have an Aphex Twin song on here, but I'm gonna strike it since Jared's taking care of the Aphex Twin needs of the playlist. Okay, I have too many songs to be honest because I wanted to have options for myself to feel moved
Absolutely.
and inspired towards some more than others. So, one that I know I have to put on there because I've been in a mood. I've been in a vibe trance lately of kind of like
Holding those chords.
sort of almost the tricky
Trance
trance
chords.
chord meditation that I've been working on, and it's a very jazzy noir, almost trip hoppy, but then also some straight up.
Sneaker Pimps. 6 Underground.
I do love that song. It is not on. It's not on here, but Glory Box by Portishead.
Ooh, okay, we'll take that.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
This one might surprise you guys, but I feel like if you listen to them in conjunction, you'll be like, that goes. Iron Man, the Cardigans cover, not the original, but the
Interesting.
Cardigans
They did
cover. It's very good. Leave Me Alone by Natalie Imbruglia. again.
Whoa.
We
I'm
talked
gonna tell
about
you that.
Natalie Imbruglia on this very
Today.
conversation, I think, before the real show started.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was feeling it in the air. I'm psychic. I'm
Wait,
a little
but this
psychic.
is not. This is a lesser known song of hers. What song is it?
It's called Leave Me Alone.
Leave Me
and
Alone.
I was under the impression, I guess this, you know how back in like Napster days, like songs would get a sign, or they would be, I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but they would be
Seeded.
assigned to artists. They would be
But, like, fake.
ascribed. Is that the word I'm looking for? Ascribed
Sure.
to
Yeah, like,
other
at least-
artists that it was incorrect. Like people thought like,
Mislabeled.
yes, yeah, that works. Like I'm a bitch, I'm a lover. Everyone's like Alanis Morissette, and it was not.
Meredith
Anyways,
Brooks.
exactly. "Leave Me Alone" by Natalie Imbruglia, I had heard was it was a Portishead remix of a Natalie Imbruglia song. But then when I tried to look this up, I could not find anything that substantiated that. It just is Natalie Imbruglia from what I can tell, and it sounds like Portishead. It's crazy.
It's a bop.
Yep, it's a bop. We've bopped. Okay, so that is 3 songs. Let's see. I will continue with this vibe then and also say Rim Shot Intro by Erykah Badu.
Oh, opening a track of Baduism.
Mm-hmm. And Walk On By Dionne Warwick, whose Twitter you should check out.
Oh, dear.
Also very good. Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite thing that she said was, "I'm listening to this William Eyelash right now. She's singing like it's Halloween. Oh, I just learned that it's Billie Eilish."
She's singing like it's Halloween.
That is literally very, she said like, it's very spooky. She's singing like it is Halloween. Like there's something about the way that she, her cadence in her typing is so, it's to
Her
die
voice
for.
really comes through.
Mm-hmm. And then last one I'll go with I Don't Know You by the Marias, or it's really probably the Marias.
The Marias.
But they're more ethnic than just an unrolled R. So but
More ethnic?
More ethnic.
That doesn't fly on this
sing
show.
In other, they
Just
sing in
kidding.
other languages. Like I believe I don't know if it's Portuguese or
Espanol.
what, but yeah, I don't know. But anyway, they're great. They have a lot of great songs.
Out of sight. Well, when we do finally fill in all the gaps on the playlist, we're going to put Morgan's picks right up on top, and then it'll be
Wow.
my songs. Yeah, the honor is ours, Morgan. And then
How can I repay
then
you?
Jotham, then Jared, and then Corin. And I think that is going to do it.
Prince Midnight set a new standard with the guests playlist getting bumped to the top.
Oh yeah, you know our past guest Prince Midnight really lobbied on behalf of the guests union to have their picks pushed higher in the playlist, and you know we had to cave. They're a very strong union. Well, guys,
Demands.
I think that is it for us. Morgan, before we depart, do you have anything that you wanted to share with the people? Anything that we didn't touch on that we should have?
I don't think so.
The album's called
Nothing-
29.
Yes, I have the electronic album called 29 available on every one of the damn platforms that exists now. I did also recently start a Twitch channel for streaming more organic music because I could. Long story, but DistroKid, the distributor who I distributed my album through, launched a partnership with Twitch that made that possible for me to do as an affiliate, as opposed to like just some old chump trying to
Not going to treat you like a schmuck.
Exactly. So they rolled out the red carpet for
Yeah.
me to have Twitch affiliate status. So I just thought I would take advantage, and that is, you know, whatever.
How do they
That's just
find you
something
on?
I do.
How do they find you on Twitch?
It's Twitch. I believe
Mongtron.
it's twitch.tv/Mongtron.
Mongtron.
Yeah, pretty much everything I'm on is Mongtron. I think Twitter's the only thing where I have zeros instead of O's because someone from the Philippines has the name Mongtron on Twitter.
Okay.
Going to get into a bidding war. Have to sue
Wants
for
to find him,
intellectual
get him.
property.
It's okay. He can have it. It might have been his name first.
It
for all I
really,
know.
it really tickles me that,
Yeah, it's really
that
using
it was
though.
someone trying to say Morgtron, saying
And it
Morg.
just got bastardized, and I just ran with it for some reason for
Just gets me.
years now.
It's great.
Well, guys, so that's going to do it for us. Anything to tell the people, my co-hosts?
Yes. very
Yes.
quick, I got a few questions. I want to just shoot these off. Which one is more hipster, Seattle or Portland? Portland. Are dinosaurs related to dogs? Yes, we're all related. And I love you, and I love you too. So
That's
those
not a
were the
question.
final questions from IG. Thank you. It wasn't just Jotham now, so I have 3 or 4 other people who pay attention to me.
I just want you
Also-
to know I'm using my phone as a camera right now, so it definitely wasn't me.
Yeah, that's right. It was
I
none of
don't
you.
love you.
I know that. If you're listening to
No, he
this,
doesn't,
please
because I do
rate,
love him.
review, like them, subscribe them, and we would
and send him
appreciate
to
it.
college.
And share with a friend.
Or
Keep on
loved one.
trucking.
So for Jared McLeod and Corin LaPointe Atchison and Jotham Fady and our friend, the great Morgan Burgess, I'm Alistair St. Hill. Everyone be well. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, 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 bye-bye.